This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. This broadcast is presented by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? Visit gocurrency.com. And by Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith.
Well, hello and welcome to Bob Cunningham Field at Memorial Stadium in beautiful Wayne, America for college football on News Channel Nebraska. Alongside Lou Siefker, I'm Pat Jansen. Nolan Hoffman will be joining us on the sideline shortly. And Lou, the Logan Masters era has begun at Wayne State College, though many could make an argument that the better part of this century has included Logan Masters at Wayne State, as he's been an All-American wide receiver and an assistant coach under two Wildcat head coaches, but the program is now his, and it started off with a bang last week, winning in the final 2 minutes at the University of Mary in Bismarck, North Dakota. What's it going to take now, Lou, for this Wildcat program to pick up win number 2 under Masters?
Well, I think the big thing today is just to ride a little bit of that momentum. You had an exciting win a week ago over University of Mary. You won the game late. But you did a lot of things well, and I look at this program, and I think everybody was excited about it with Coach McMenamin, and I think you saw the improvement in play and where this program was going. Now, it's kind of like a stock. You buy the stock and you're excited about it. Then he leaves. Maybe that stock takes a hit, but now that stock is booming because you got Logan Masters, as you mentioned, a former great player here and an assistant coach here, so a guy that knows Wayne State well. A quality football coach. He did a great job in that opener. Now it's just a matter of riding some momentum and continue it, and continue to try to find success. It'll be a big thing here today. You won your first home, or rather road opener since 2012 last week. Now, what better way to get things started here on a Saturday night, win your home opener against a very good Northern State team.
Looking for their first 2-0 start since 2012 are the Wildcats, but coming into town are the Northern State Wolves, coming in from Aberdeen, South Dakota. They had an impressive win last week as well, 30-0 at home against Upper Iowa, and that defense was stout, and it is a tough front seven, Lou.
Yeah, they've been very impressive. Wayne State defense last week had 4 sacks for a loss of 30 yards. They had a pick 6. And what better way to show how good you are defensively than to hold University of Mary to only a 30% third down percentage, 3 of 10 on the game. So they did everything real well in that game. I really like the way Wayne State has been playing defense going back to last year.
We've got a fun one here tonight in Wayne, America. We've got more college football coming your way, including the head man himself, Logan Masters. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
The pregame show is brought to you by Norfolk Auto Center, Northeast Nebraska's volume leader, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
We're here at Faith Regional and preparing to talk about joint replacement. Let's speak with an orthopedic surgeon. I'm here with Dr. Michael Woodbury, an orthopedic surgeon with Faith Regional Physician Services. Today we're talking about joint replacements. Doctor, when should someone consider coming in to get checked out for that?
Most people, they come in because they're having pain. Usually it's hip or knee, sometimes it's shoulder. There's other types of replacements that are done too, but my specialty is in hip and knee. A lot of patients are feeling like their functionality is decreased.
When they decide it's time for a joint replacement, what can you expect from then on?
Once you decide that joint replacement is right for you, it's really a quite smooth process. After my consultation, a lot of patients, they need some sort of pre-op evaluation done. Older folks generally have more health issues, and so we need to have them see their regular doctor to make sure that they agree that they're safe for surgery. Surgery is very safe as long as these things have been taken care of ahead of time. Then you'll talk to our ortho care navigator. She'll talk to you about going home, what to expect, And then once that's done, they further talk to you about dressing care and health issues and what to expect after surgery. By then, you're meeting with the anesthesia team. And then once that's done, then it's just rehabilitation.
And what does that look like? You do the surgery and then recovery starts. What do typical patients see on that side?
Generally, you'll see me about 2 weeks after surgery. We'll take another set of x-rays of either knee or hip to find out and make sure that everything is exactly as we expect it to be. We do a wound check at that point. Depending on your surgeon, there may be sutures or staples that have to come out. For my patients, there's just a piece of fiber mesh that's glued onto the skin. That mesh falls off on its own, usually in about 2 to 3 weeks. And that's your dressing. So you don't have to worry about dressings and stuff like that in that case. And then we see you back here about the 6-week mark to make sure you're doing okay. Immediately after surgery, you're with physical therapy, and that's pretty much who you see all the time. So with physical therapy, you're going 2 to 3 times a week. You're working on range of motion. You're working on strengthening. And then by the 6-week visit, we kind of figure out if you need to continue with therapy or if you've completed therapy. And then usually there's another visit about the 3-month mark after surgery just to make sure that all goals are being met at home and you're feeling comfortable with your new knee or hip.
Dr. Woodbury, thanks so much for taking time to share your expertise.
Thank you.
Does your business...
Back here at Bob Cunningham Field Memorial Stadium with the head Wildcat himself, Coach Logan Masters. And Coach, you got your head coaching career off to a big start last week with a road win. What's it going to take to move forward to 2-0 this year?
A little of the same stuff. We're dropping the road. A little mistakes.
A lot of talented offensive weapons, but going up against a very ferocious Northern State defense with that very big front seven. How do you counterbalance that?
Yeah, we just got to do all different things. We got to bounce out the floor, run it, change your counter. That to our line. A little bit of advantage. Getting the balls downfield where I'm out.
Coach, looking forward to it. Have a good second game.
Thank you, guys.
That's Coach Logan Masters. We'll take a break and be back with more. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska. We're back here at Memorial Stadium in Wayne, America. Pat Jansen alongside Lou Siefker. Nolan Hoffman on the sidelines for us tonight. We are here for college football on News Channel Nebraska. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com. Also brought to you by Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Piedmontese Beef. The Northern State defense, we mentioned, they are ferocious up front. The defensive line, Ty Vaimolana, a New Zealand native, one of 2 non-Americans on the roster. Ian Marshall in the middle, a 6'1", 270-pound graduate from Springfield, Missouri. Isaiah Nolan, 6'1", 255, and Logan Grossinger from Buffalo, Minnesota rounds out that defensive line. The linebackers, Nate Robinson, Brendan Cutterer, and Trey King. Meanwhile, in the secondary, it's Felipe Alvear, Jack Myers, Trevor Johnson, and Arshawn Willis. Meanwhile, the Northern State offense will be headed up by graduate quarterback Michael Bonds. His line from left to right, Jacob Schloy, Josh Witt, Daniel Porish, Anthony Harris Jr., and Jacob Howard. The wide receivers are Ben Noland, Dominic Vaselli, and Greg Lux. He's got a tight end in Jacob Van Lanningham, running back Brett Brenton, and fullback Clayton Gruenike. Wayne State defense, they've got their own talented guys up front in Rex Becker, a sophomore from Hardington. He's at the left end. Caleb Browse, one of the tackles. Luke Sims, the other. Jackson Johnston from Bancroft. He's the rush end on the right side. Sam linebacker Jalen Scott from Muncie, Indiana. Dexter Larson, sophomore from Blair, is in the middle. Alex Kowalczyk, sophomore from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, who had himself a year last year. He's the will linebacker. The secondary, cornerbacks are Javon France and Gerald Fly. The safeties are Jacob Bird and Tanner Cooper. Meanwhile, the Wayne State offense, the line from left to right, Jet Jansen, Chris Graham Jr., Ryan Kennedy, Carter Church, Terrell Tompkins, wide receivers Shane Orr, Jaden Johnson, and Wayne native Mason Lee. Tight end is Gage Dengel. Quarterback Nick Bowen. He's a co-captain with Tavian Willis, his backup. And the tailback is the guy who won the game at the end last week, Anthony Watkins, a senior from Harvey, Illinois. And Lou, we are set to go. We have NSIC football on News Channel Nebraska.
Yeah, nothing beats Northern Sun football here. And for Wayne State, boy, we talked about Northern State, how good they are defensively as the ball is blown off the tee, so they will have to wait a minute to get the home season underway. But I think for Wayne State, they were so good a week ago, very balanced. I mean, you can't get more balanced than they were a week ago. 195 yards rushing and 196 yards passing. I'm sure Coach Masters would love to have similar numbers here in this ball game tonight. But I think it's important early against a really good defense to find some success. You don't necessarily have to score on that first drive, but you'd like to be able to move the ball and just get that confidence going against a very good defense.
Well, Wayne State will start following a touchback as that one went deep through the end zone. These two teams in the NSIC, but they don't meet every year. This is the first time since 2019. They're cross-divisional rivals, as this is a very, very big conference. They've met 5 times in the last 11 years. The last 4 games have been decided by 1 possession. Wayne State actually has the 2 biggest margins of victory in the series, winning by 27 in 2011 and by 24 in 2010. And there's a quick flag to start things out.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to start the drive. A penalty before the first snap. So a pre-snap penalty moves Wayne State back 5 yards.
Bowen, who got the starting job last year after an injury to Tavian Willis, hands it off to Watkins through. And a good pickup on first down. Got the penalty yardage back and more. It looks like it's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, this Northern State defense a week ago had 2 interceptions and 3 sacks for a loss of 28 yards. Held the Peacocks, the Upper Iowa Peacocks, to 2 of 12 on third down. So a good defensive performance by them.
And more ferocity from that defensive front of Northern State as Bowen was really looking for a quick fire, couldn't find anybody, and is gobbled up for the sack, and it's going to be 3rd down and 11 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he had a good play there on first down, a good running play. The penalty, though, hurt you. It could have easily been about 2nd down and about 5, and you want to be able to establish a running game against a very aggressive defense. You're going to have to make some short passes here against a great pass rush.
Set up a screen, and it is blown up. Whew. A big, big tackle from the linebacker, Nate Robinson, as they set up that screen for Anthony Watkins, but Northern State just snuffed that out.
Yeah, Nate Robinson, the 6'2", 220 senior from Dublin, Ohio. Wow, that was a frightening hit. These guys have come to play, obviously. The really, they're so good on the defensive side of the ball.
Alex Powders, who's been a phenomenal special teamer for the Wildcats, he's back to punt. High booming kick. And called for by Noland. And Northern State will start not in all that different a field position than Wayne State, as they'll just be 4 yards ahead of where Wayne State was, this time at the 29 where the Wolves come out.
The Wolves are going to try to establish a passing game here. 252 yards last week, and that included 146 yards rushing, so a really good offensive ball game for the Wolves. That included also 3 passing touchdowns.
Hand off to Brenton up the middle. His long hair flowing through that hole. He picks up solid first down yardage. It'll be 2nd and about 6 for the Wolves.
You know, we were talking before the game, Pat, with these uniforms that Northern State looks like. From up here, it looks like the old Redskins back in the day. The dogs up. That is a pretty good-sized offensive line as well. I don't see Russ Grimm out there, but...
You're looking at 6'7", 275, 6'3", 300, 6'2", 275, 6'2", 280, and 6'3", 270 for the Wolves. Shotgun snap looking right all the way. There's pressure. He's going to escape from it. And out past the first down marker goes Bonds. There was nobody home on the right side of the Wayne State defense. And Bonds was able to cut back to his left and pick up a first down.
Yeah, the defensive line just got pinned down, and that made it a pretty easy run for the first down there for Bonds.
So the first down of the game goes to the Wolves. 1st and 10 from Northern State's own 41. Pre-snap motion for Northern State. Shotgun snap a bit high, rolling right. Has his man, it's complete on the sideline, but for minimal gain.
That pass was across the field there. Gets about 3 on that one.
It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Wolves. Dominic Faselli, the leading receiver for Northern State, the man on that last catch. He gets this one as well, and he's out past first down yardage, and Northern State on the move.
And Northern State's got a good group of receivers. They run good routes here. That was an excellent route that time.
Yeah, Faselli had almost 100 yards last week for the Wolves. Wayne State trying to move to 2-0 for the first time in a decade. Even last year, when they had a hot start that got them ranked in the top 25, they lost their 2nd game of the season to Bemidji State. Handoff up the middle, and there is confusion for Northern State. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and maybe a little bit more, is Stanley Haskins Jr. That could have been a lot worse for Northern State.
Yeah. Yeah, that looked bad, but give Haskins Jr. the benefit of the doubt there. He was able to make something out of nothing there. Actually picks up a couple of yards on that play. He was tackled by about 12 guys, I think.
More of the pre-snap motion for Northern State. Bonds from the shotgun takes the snap. Looks left all the way. There's a lot of contact, and what a catch.
Wow.
That was phenomenal coverage, but Caleb Schenzel comes down with it as Bonds took a hit, and suddenly Northern State is in business.
Well, I tell you what, Alex Kowalczyk came through there on a blitz and absolutely hit Bonds. We'll see the replay here. Watch number 5 shoot the gap here on the blitz. Nobody touches him. And Bonds takes a hit, but what a fantastic catch downfield.
Replay brought to you by Madison County Bank. That coverage was by Javon France, and really he was draped all over the receiver as the handoff goes up the middle once again for Northern State. Nothing there, and the ball looked like it was about popped loose, but able to hang on to it were the Wolves.
Well, Wildcats have not had a good start to this ball game. You had the before the first play, you have a pre-snap penalty that sets you back. You go 3 and out, and now Northern State driving the football. For the Wildcats, you'd like to hold them to a field goal attempt here.
Good crowd on hand tonight, even with the Huskers playing at the same time. As Bonds fakes the handoff, he goes up the middle, and He may have turned that over. Wow, what a break for Wayne State as Bonds fumbles inside the 1. Take a look at the replay here.
Well, Northern State did a great job getting the defense to flow to the right side on that pre-snap motion, and then the ball fake, and it looked like an easy, close to a touchdown anyway for Bonds, but the fumble, as you mentioned, Pat, that's a huge break. At about the 1 or 2 yard line there. Looks like about the 2 yard line. But Northern State, after a heck of a drive, after a big passing play, they're going to come away empty. And Wayne State's got to find a way to get out of that shadow of their own goal line.
Well, defensive coordinator Scott McLaughlin, who's been a part of multiple staffs here at Wayne State, will certainly take that turnover. But
safety.
Defense the other way. It's a safety for the Wolves, just burying Watkins behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they're going to say are they going to say hits it down at the? I don't know that they're calling that a safety. They've placed the ball just outside of the goal line.
You are correct, Lou. Another break for Wayne State, and the Wildcats will take it. Second life here.
You can't get any closer to the end zone than they are right now.
And they're trying to alleviate that problem with a quarterback sneak by Bowen, the former Bennington Badger.
Well, I think for Wayne State, you got to be a little careful here. You want to get the ball out of that end zone area. You want to give your punter a chance here to punt the ball away. But you also don't want to do turnover for turnover. And turnover here for Wayne State could be very damaging.
You certainly don't want a safety, but probably better than a pick six or a fumble. More pre-snap motion, and they hand off to Watkins, who ends up down in the end zone again, but the forward motion got him to about maybe the 1 foot line, and Alex Powders is going to have a challenge in front of him here, punting this one out of the shadow of his own goalpost.
This drive started on the 2, ends up inside the 1. So Wayne State loses a couple of yards, and boy, you're right. Well, Alex here's got his work cut out for him. I've got to believe Northern State's going to try to block this thing.
Former Iowa Western Reaver waits in the back of the end zone, gets rid of it. Low line drive. And the Wolves will just let that bounce. It goes out of bounds at the 43-yard line. This quarter brought to you by Region 4 Behavioral Health System. We're about halfway through this first quarter. No score, Wayne State and Northern State.
Well, great field position for the Wolves here. All things considered, Alex Powers did a pretty good job punting the ball out of that end zone. Got away with it, got away quickly.
Bonds throws to his right side. A lot of traffic trying to find his tight end, Van Landingham, but leaves it wide for him, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves.
Good pressure that time by Wayne State. Forced Bonds to get rid of that probably a little quicker than he wanted to, and as you mentioned, there was a lot of traffic there. That was a play that Wayne State defense really blew up.
Van Landingham, not your typical tight end size, 5'11", 220. Typically like those guys stretched out a little more. Bonds takes the shotgun snap, hands it off up the middle. And good yardage on first down as Northern State continues to shuffle through the running backs. This time it's Isaiah Cherrier. Quickly back to the line, handoff again up the middle. Cherrier cuts left, then back toward the middle, and good yardage again for Cherrier, the graduate from Minnetonka, Minnesota.
Yeah, a bit of a running back by committee right now for Northern State, but the big dogs, or shall I say the big hogs, since they look like the Redskins, the big fellas up front, they're doing very well. They're winning the war right now against the Wayne State defensive front.
Charrier again churning up the middle, and that's going to be another first down for the Wolves. This is a physical Northern State team, and that happens with experience, Lou. You see a lot of these GRs next to Northern State on the roster rather than freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Certainly COVID year had a lot to do with that for these guys as well.
And Wayne State defensively only 2 senior starters, so kind of a young defensive group there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and a few of the seniors have kind of moved back to the second string on that 2-deep depth chart as some of the young talent has been prioritized for Wayne State. But right now, the strength of Northern State is looking impressive. They've got set up with another 2nd and 5, this time from the 16 of Wayne State. Second time that Northern State's been in the Wayne State red zone, looking for points this time as they go toward the end zone. But Javon France, with fantastic coverage, bats that away.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass there by Bonds. He tried to put it over the top there in that fade in the end zone and nearly he could have got that pick. You're right, that was great coverage by France. All over the receiver, no chance to complete that pass.
France, they've gone his way twice. One long reception and one batted away, but both times good coverage. There's a lot of movement before the snap, and this pass is batted away. Northern State thought there was an offsides, but Wayne State apparently got back.
Well, Wayne State kind of a little bit of a bend but don't break defense right now. They give up some yards after having to kick out of their own end zone, but that's just good, again, good coverage. And Bonds trying to force it into zone coverage there, nearly got it picked off.
Now Peyton Oy on to try and put Northern State on the board. The kick is up, and it is good. First points of the game belong to Northern State. Nothing. We'll take a break and be back with more. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Allo means reliability, productivity, connect. Allo means no more of that. Allo means business. Local business, big business, small business. If you need reliable phone and internet connectivity, you need Allo. Local service and same-day dispatch. Free installation, symmetrical upload and download speeds. If your business relies on communication, rely on Allo. Allo means business. Visit allofiber.com/business.
Wayne State will start its third drive at the 25 after a touchback from Oy. And Lou, when you look at the stats early on, each team has had 2 drives. Wayne State being outgained 96-3.
Yeah.
5 first downs for Northern State, 0 for the Wildcats, but only a 3-0 ball game. That's got to be good news for the Wildcats.
That's exactly right. Only 6 plays, 15 plays for Northern State, but it is only 3-0.
Pitch out left side, and solid gain on first down for the Wildcats as it goes to Watkins.
This Wildcat offense nearly 400 yards a week ago, and as we mentioned, very, very balanced. 196 through the air, 195 on the ground. Obviously, Coach Masters and the staff here would like to see this offense get a little bit untracked.
Bowen on 2nd and 5, hands off up the middle to Watkins, and there's nothing doing there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats.
If you wondered why Northern State pitched a shutout a week ago, just watch this game. This defense is very active, very quick, I'm impressed with the ability to not only get off the block, but get to the football and get there in a hurry.
There's no big Gilbert Brown type of guy in the middle of that line, but they're all big and athletic and strong. Bowen from the shotgun on third down. He's going to cut up and run himself. Shakes free and near first down yardage. He'll get it. That was a lot of effort there from Nick Bowen, but Wildcats needed it. They get their first down of the game.
Yeah, Nick Bowen putting on some moves out there. A little bit of shake and bake, got that first down. That was a big first down. You don't want to go 3 and out again. That would have been three and outs in a row. Try to get this offense in a rhythm. That was a big play there by Nick Bowen.
You compare him and his fellow captain, Tavion Willis, who won the starting job at the beginning of last year. They're kind of different quarterbacks. They've got some similar skill sets, but Willis probably a little better passer, Bowen a little bit better runner. He tosses out to the right side this time, and it's complete for a first down to Ashton Schmaderer, redshirt freshman, also from Bennington. And that's going to be another first down for the Wildcats, 2 in a row.
Now that's a good pass here. You just mentioned that Bowen might be a little bit better runner. That was an impressive pass. That was on the left hash across the field through a strike for the first down.
It's about a 10-yard completion, but a much longer pass than that. Bowen looks like he'll go under center this time with Watkins behind him. Mason Lee in motion. They'll hand off Watkins. There may have been a face mask. I think they're going to throw that flag.
Yeah, we had a pretty good view of that up here, Pat. That definitely a face mask.
Well, 3 plays, 3 first downs. That'll untrack the offense pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the, see if we can see it here.
It was really on the first point of contact.
Yeah.
And Colin Stebner, one of the defensive linemen for the Wolves, tossed the flag back.
He just threw a flag on the officiating crew.
So finally on the Northern State side of the field, Bowen throws left side. This one's complete. That'll be close to another first down as this one goes to Jaden Johnson. And Wildcats are suddenly on the move.
Yeah, that's much different than the first 2 drives of the ball game. Now, granted, the second drive that Wayne State had was very difficult, starting at your own 2-yard line. But they've been able to move the ball here. 2nd
and 1 as Bowen again from the shotgun. He's flushed. Now rolling out to his right side. He might cut it up and run himself. He does. He's got the first down inside the 25-yard line.
I think that is his ability, as you mentioned, as a runner, but a scrambler, which is kind of 2 different things, runner and a scrambler. He's a guy that can get away from pressure and then make plays with his feet, keep plays alive with his athleticism. That was a great example of that.
Kind of a stout guy, 6'1", 200 pounds. Cats looking to turn this in. Watkins up the middle, shakes the first tackler, but nothing doing after that. He's buried after no gain.
And Northern State's got to be careful. They're kind of tackling high again. You might end up with another face mask doing that.
Absolutely. Mention that Wayne State has adjusted on this 3rd drive. Logan Masters had previously been the offensive coordinator. His current offensive coordinator, Colin Prosser, a former teammate of his at Wayne State, came back to Wayne from Minnesota State, where he had a lot of success there, as Bowen rolls to his left, looks to the end zone. Oh! Just off the hands of former Wayne Blue Devil Mason Lee. Lee, a very accomplished Wildcat, nearly hauled that in for 6.
Yeah, nearly a touchdown. And Mason Lee's a guy that rarely drops those kind of passes. That looked like that one probably should have been caught. Mason Lee is one of the more consistent receivers you're ever going to find. He has caught a pass in 14 straight games and 30 of his last 31 contests dating back to week 4 of his freshman year. Talk about consistent.
Yeah, and you see on that replay, I think he was just a little bit too aware of that back line of the end zone trying to keep his feet in. 3rd and 10, Bowen will go ahead and cut up and run himself. That was a designed run all the way. Gets it to the 20. It's going to bring up 4th and 6 and a field goal attempt for Alex Powders.
Well, a nice drive there by Wayne State. 10-play drive. Alex Powder is an excellent kicker here. I expect him to have a great year for the Wildcats.
He punted throughout last week. He split kicking duties. Bowen will hold. The kick is up, and it is good. We've got a tie ball game with 38 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
Wayne State is the college of choice.
Smart choice.
Sound choice.
Natural choice.
Strong choice.
Original choice.
Bold choice.
Affordable choice.
With over 130 programs of study, Wayne State College is the
first choice.
First choice.
First choice.
For students who want an excellent education at an affordable cost. Get started at ExploreWayneStateCollege.com.
Fall harvest means long hours for you and your equipment. You both need a fuel that can handle the pressure. So use Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster Premium Diesel from Farmer's Pride for more power, better fuel economy, faster starts, and special additives to help reduce downtime. What's more, when you do business with Farmer's Pride, you'll notice a personal touch that goes beyond the expected. Farmer's Pride, in the field, on your farm, in your community.
To you by Currency. Need financing for RVs, ATVs, or other expensive items? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com today. Also brought to you by Faith Regional Physician Services. When work hits you hard, have faith. Oh, there's a big collision on this kickoff return. Lou, NSIC football is no joke.
Yeah, that was a collision. I've seen lesser collisions on the highway. That was quite a crash. That's what you want your gunners to do, is to get down there and create contact. And good job there. Pretty good job of covering the kick. Do get it past the 25-yard line, but you like the ferocity of that coverage.
There's been a fair bit of that early in this game. Pads popping early in the season. 3-3, 32 seconds left first quarter, as Bonds will keep it himself following the misdirection. And actually, I beg your pardon, that's not Bonds, that's Will Madler, redshirt sophomore out of Bismarck, North Dakota, coming in to run the offense for the Wolves.
Well, that's interesting.
Didn't see anything relating to an injured Bonds. You know, sometimes you'll have that where a quarterback will come in just to kind of change pace. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. But we've reached the end of the first quarter. It's 3-3. We're going to take a break and be back with the second quarter after this. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
When you want to wear your pride on your sleeve, true Nebraskans turn to NebraskaScreenPrinting.com for the latest screen printing and embroidery design. View hundreds of designs.
Do you want me to throw to him, or
school activity,
just come to him?
Club or business? We can do it all in whatever color your pride comes in. Get your group order in for your event or team at NebraskaScreenPrinting.com today for a fast and convenient turnaround. We're custom sports screen printing and embroidery at NebraskaScreenPrinting.com. Proud to be Nebraskan.
At Elkhorn Valley Bank, we believe in local. It's something we live by. It's something we're proud of. It's helping our neighbors grow like they've helped us. Supporting families, investing in lives, and creating prosperity. Local means making decisions that grow and improve surrounding communities we call home. Investing in our nonprofits and giving back. Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, great for you, great for your community.
Back in Wayne, America, let's send it down to the third member of our crew, Nolan Hoffman. Nolan?
This game all-time series, they lead by 5 games, 15-10 over Wayne State. And last time these two teams played was 2019, where Northern State came out on top in double overtime. So let's see if we have another great game here tonight. Back up to the Patrick.
Thank you, Nolan. As mentioned earlier, there have been some close games in this series. Last 4 all by 1 possession, as Nolan just mentioned. Quick first down for Northern State. The Wolves back at it as they try to go up the middle with the quarterback once again, but Madler is stuffed, and he is taking some licks here on this drive.
Luke Sims and Kowalczyk in there on that tackle. Yeah, Nolan mentioned how close this has been. The last game that these two teams played here was 2019, and it was double overtime. It wouldn't be out of the question to see something like that here tonight.
Well, especially with the way things have shaped up so far in a 3-3 game. And Madler on second down, trying to run once again. Picks up a little bit more yardage this time, but it's going to be 3rd and about 6 for the Wolves. And really, you know, we talked about the 3 and outs of Wayne State offensively earlier, and then they rebounded on that 3rd drive, got points, but really Wayne State needs to get its defense off the field in short order this time around because they've been on the field a lot.
Yeah, they've been in some pressure situations too. With twice, the Northern State Wolves have had the ball in Wayne State territory and only come away with 3 points.
Madler from the shotgun looking right. He's going to run once again. He's got room. He's going to pick up a first down. Takes a hit at the 46-yard line. But that'll be first down yardage for Madler once again before Fly ends up wrapping him up.
Gerald Fly, the sophomore. We saw him as a freshman last year.
Irving, Texas native. And one of the great names on this team.
Yeah. I suppose he's a Cowboys fan, being from Irving, Texas?
I'd say there's a strong likelihood. Wayne State, when Dan McLaughlin was the coach, he did not like his players wearing Nebraska gear. He said, you play for Wayne State. But there were a few Wayne State players who would sneak by with some Iowa Hawkeyes gear because there's a lot of Wayne State recruits from Iowa.
Well, you can probably get away with that. It's black and gold. I mean, unless you're looking close.
Those Wayne State Wildcats from the state of Iowa probably a little disappointed today as Iowa lost to Iowa State.
I'll try not to cheer. Yeah, that's one of those rivalry sort of games, Iowa State. You just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Of course, despite Nebraska playing tonight, a good crowd here in Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, great weather. I mean, it was rainy and kind of gloomy this morning, and it's cleared out. Nice, bright sunshine. Great night for football.
Bond's back in the game. Throws out to the right side, and good yardage once again on the screen pass, this time with Cherrier, who's been running really hard for the Wolves.
I like this drive by Northern State, really mixing it up. Kind of keeping Wayne State off balance on this drive, and they've been able to move the football back down now inside Wildcat territory.
Cherrier gets the handoff once again. There doesn't need to be a lot of room for him. You know, for as kind of skinny as he is for a running back, he runs physically.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's listed at 6 foot 210, but he runs more like about 220, 225. He's got you're right, Pat. He doesn't look that big, but when you see him delivering contact from that running back spot, he plays that big.
Bonds will hand off to Cherrier once again. He's bouncing off tacklers, and that's going to create a 3rd and short situation for the Wolves.
Again, Cherrier, you got to get low on him. Arm tackles aren't going to work. You got to get down and drive through him with your legs. If you're coming up high trying to arm tackle him, good luck.
Well, he won't be on the field here for 3rd down. 3rd and 1 for Northern State.
We'll see if the Wolves try maybe a play-action pass or something here.
It'll be Madler in at quarterback once again. He's got one back with him. Fakes the handoff. There's some confusion, but he's able to make something out of nothing, get out past the 25 and pick up the first down.
Yeah, miscommunication there between quarterback and running back still with that line, that offensive line. The big Wolves up front, most of this first half, they have been very impressive. And for the Wolves, if you just for psychological reasons, you want to come away with some points here, you've kind of moved the ball pretty well against Wayne State, but only 3 points to show for it.
It'll be Bonds back behind center once again. Moves his tight end from left to right. Takes the shotgun snap. Looking downfield, he's got a man and dropped at the goal line. That's his most sure-handed receiver, Faselli. That was 6, but just falls out of his hands.
Yeah, Faselli ran a nice route. He split that zone coverage, just got in between the cornerback and the safety. Ran a nice route, and the ball was delivered. Just as you mentioned, one of the better receivers on this team, just not able to secure that one. And certainly would have been a big play.
Faselli was the leading receiver last week for the Wolves, going for 96 yards. Bonds takes the high snap, now rolls right. He's got a man. It's caught and chopped down immediately, as making the tackle was Jacob Bird. Able to make the catch was Max Otto, the big tight end. Big height-wise anyway, kind of slender at 195.
Yeah, I used to be 195. A few sandwiches that I had before the game. I'm about 205 now.
Good sandwiches, Lou.
Yeah, those were good.
3rd down and 8 for the Wolves. Bonds from the shotgun. Looking right, he's got a man. It's caught. That'll be first down yardage as Noland makes the catch. The Georgian native keeps the drive alive for the Wolves.
Yeah, he just ran a great route that time. Get right to the sticks, and again, that's timing. That's a timing route, and it's delivered right on time, right at the sticks, gets the first down. That's a great job. Great execution there by quarterback and receiver.
It does seem like they've really gone after France a lot, which is remarkable because Javon France is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Bonds hands off once again as Charrier trying to churn forward, but not much doing once he hits the 10-yard line.
I think it's important for Wayne State, first of all, to just control the line of scrimmage, and especially there, right along that A gap, inside on you and try to force them outside. And if a team like Northern State's able to attack you in the middle, that just sets up everything else offensively. So that's kind of the first thing you have to up front.
Bonds will go under center this time. Charrier is his lone setback. Hands off Charrier, and he is buried. Great penetration that time by the Wildcats. That was Drake Peed, the redshirt freshman from South Dakota, big 6'1", 270-pounder.
Yeah, Drake Peed ate that ball carrier like I ate my sandwich earlier. That was emphatic.
Had to hang on for dear life, though.
Yeah, he hit him hard. Yeah, you're right. It almost slipped away. That's a very difficult running back in Charrier to bring down.
Got a timeout on the field by Wayne State. We'll take one with them for your football on News Channel Nebraska.
When it comes to your auto partner, there is no house divided when you choose Woodhouse. 18 brands, one team, a winning experience every time.
When you want to wear your school's spirit on your sleeve, true Nebraskans turn to Custom Sports Screen Printing. No matter what activity you want to show off, Custom Sports has you covered in whatever color your spirit comes in. Check out the gallery at nebraskascreenprinting.com to see custom designs for every school activity, sport, booster club, and event. And get your group orders in now for a fast and convenient turnaround. Custom Sports Screen Printing at nebraskascreenprinting.com. Proud to be Nebraskan.
Back here on News Channel Nebraska, the second quarter brought to you by Unity Eye Centers, with offices in Norfolk, Pierce, Columbus, Grand Island, and St. Paul. And
I'm going to have a legal procedure on Northern State. That's unfortunate. And now that sets Northern State back at 3rd and 16. And boy, again, for Northern State, it's kind of a psychological thing. They've really controlled the line of scrimmage. They've moved the ball very well. This next play will be play 16 of this drive. If you don't come away with points, you got to start questioning things a little bit. You stay with it obviously, but it certainly hurts you psychologically when you've kind of owned Wayne State to this point and you don't come away with points. It's 3-3. We'll see what they do here. I'm guessing maybe a shot toward the end zone here.
Northern State has almost doubled up Wayne State with the number of plays. This will be play number 31 as the handoff goes up the middle, and it'll be solid yardage, about 5, but not nearly enough for a first down, and the field goal unit comes on for the Wolves. But to finish that point, 31 plays for the Wolves to 16 for Wayne State, and yet this field goal would only put Northern State up by 3.
Yeah, you get a little frustrated when you've moved the ball like this. I'm a little surprised at that call. They had 3 receivers to the wide side of the field there and just kind of settled to set up for a field goal.
And Oy misses to the left.
Oh.
Not only have they doubled up Wayne State with the number of plays, they don't even have the lead.
Wow. And he's an excellent kicker. He was the special teams player of the week last week. Had a 49-yard field goal, but Oy misses that one.
Wow. 31-yarder, and it just went left right off the foot.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Northern State. We'll see if still early in the game, 6:42 to go before halftime, but the longer that goes, the longer you have success between the 20s, but you're not scoring points, the frustration tends to set in, and maybe you press a little bit to try to make a play, and sometimes that ends up in a turnover or a bad play. And for Wayne State, you've got plenty of time here to move the ball yourself, try to get into scoring position.
Dangerous pass there out toward the flat. But the catch made by Schmaderer. Bennington to Bennington, Bowen to Schmaderer. Northern State looked like they had a beat on it, but able to make the completion and make 2nd and short for the Wildcats.
As one of those, if you're a Wayne State fan, you held your breath there for just a second. That looked like that was going to be a pick 6.
Wayne State headed toward the Peterson Fine Arts Building. Handoff to Watkins, left side. He's out past the first down sticks. Not a lot beyond it, but enough for a first down for the Wildcats. And for those of you, when you see the shot from behind Bowen as the Wildcats head toward the south end zone, you'll see some construction as Watkins shaking tacklers, and he's out near another first down, a pickup of about 9 on 1st and 10. He wants to see that newly renovated Peterson Fine Arts Building.
Yeah, there you go. And Wayne State, last time they had the football, moved it quite well.
Halftime show coming up. That'll be brought to you by Wayne State College, devoted to student success for more than 100 years.
And despite the fact that Northern State, again, as we mentioned, has many more plays than Wayne State, The Wildcats have a chance here to take the lead.
And they go deep. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Wow.
Hitting on the home run ball. Cats hit it big with Jaden Johnson, the Louisiana native, with the big purchase in the end zone for the Wildcats.
Well, could that have been a better pass? And what a fantastic route here. Let's watch the replay. He just got behind the defense. He just beat the defense there, used that speed and got behind him. And Jaden Johnson takes it to the house.
That is a fast man. And Bowen took a hit, but he was able to stay in the pocket, and suddenly Wildcats are on top 9-3 with Powders on for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 10-3, Wildcats on top with 5:04 left to play first half. We'll take a break and be back with more. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo, high-key internet for a low-key price. Thrift Warehouse in Wayne. Shop their huge selection of gently used name-brand clothes, purses, and home decor. Want to know what games we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
And just like that, Wayne State strikes a long bomb, 60 yards. Johnson, and the Wildcats have a 10-3 advantage over the Wolves, and that's not how this half has felt like it's been going, Lou, but
yeah.
Hey, the scoreboard tells the story.
The big difference, and that's the first touchdown Northern State has given up in 6 quarters. So that's something unusual they have not seen. But 15 minutes and 8 Northern State to 9:38 for Wayne State, but Wayne State, we just said it, they right on that play, they had a chance to take the lead. They do take the lead on that very play. And now that's really when this frustration, I think, when you're Northern State, you feel like you've kind of controlled this first half. Now you're looking up at the scoreboard, you're down 7.
That scoring drive went 4 plays and 80 yards, 60 of that coming on the no-huddle to Johnson. Now we'll see if Northern State can respond. Bonds back in at quarterback will run the show from the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Chip. Swing it out left side. Cherrier shakes the tackle, getting back toward the sideline. Now cuts it back toward the middle of the field, but he's buried there at the 32, but an 8-yard pickup for Cherrier, who is a difficult man to tackle.
Yeah, I like Cherrier. He's a good running back. He's one of those graduate guys. He's out there running with the football. He's got his degree in hand, working on a graduate degree.
You know, even the schools that aren't in Minnesota in the NSIC, you see a lot of Minnesotans on these rosters. Cherrier, one of them, from Minnetonka.
This is fun to say, Minnetonka.
Bonds from the shotgun, fakes the handoff. Now looking to pass. Goes left sideline, and that's incomplete for Noland. That was fly on coverage for the Wildcats.
There's got to be something there, like he was on him like fly paper. I mean, could you say that? I mean,
hey, that works for me, Lou.
I like that.
And suddenly, just like that, it's 3rd down now for the Wolves.
Yeah. Northern State needs a first down here. That seems kind of funny to say since they've moved the ball pretty well in this half. If I'm Northern State, I don't want to kick the ball away to Wayne State. Wayne State just came up with a big play. They're feeling it right now. You certainly wouldn't want to go into halftime down a couple scores, especially, again, the way they've played most of this first half.
Bonds from the shotgun looks left. He's got a man. It's caught ahead of the sticks. He went to Noland on the previous play, went back to him this time, and that's enough for a first down for the Wolves.
Yeah, that time just got enough for the first down. Fly comes up and makes the tackle, but again, a good route. That's what you want your receiver to do. Get a couple yards ahead of that stick and make that catch, get that first down.
Bonds with the handoff, and there's a lot of confusion there, but able to break free several times is Brenton. Had a Wildcat hanging on to his towel, but able to pick up good yardage on first down.
Looked like that towel was unraveling there. I like Brett Benton again, or Brenton rather. He and Cherry they're kind of different kinds of backs, but they both run really hard. I mean, those are guys that by the fourth quarter, you're just tired of tackling those guys.
And that's ultimately, I think, the risk for Wayne State with as often as they've been on the field defensively today. You know, they were really hoping to get that 3 and out and have a chance to get the 2-possession lead, but more importantly, give their defense a bit of a break. Bonds hands off to Brenton once again. This time the defense busts through up the middle. And it is getting a tad chippy.
Trent Rasmussen, one of the guys in there, gets up, fired up. That was a nice defensive play there. Yeah, I like the way that Wayne State's battling right now. I was a little worried there earlier in the first half that Northern State is just kind of having an easy time controlling the line of scrimmage. Wayne State has fought back.
Rasmussen, a graduate of Centura High School. Big third down once again. Bonds from the shotgun looks over the middle, nearly picked off. Wow, that was a dangerous pass. He was looking for Greg Lux. There was a lot of traffic. There were way more black jerseys than white ones over there, Lou.
Yeah, I tried to force that one in there a little bit and almost paid for it because that ball got deflected up in the air. He's lucky that one didn't get picked off. But I tell you what, Wayne State's in good shape now. With 2:13, you've got time. And they've got all 3 timeouts. You get a decent return here. Get yourself in good field position. You've certainly got a chance to extend that lead.
Oy will punt. And Bird will be back to receive it. Looks like we've got a timeout. We're going to go ahead and keep it here during the timeout. Tonight's game brought to you by Currency. Need help financing big ticket items? Currency's here to help. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Also, tonight's broadcast brought to you by Faith Regional Health Services. Care, have faith. And Lou, this Wayne State team, I think, has faith that they can go ahead and extend this lead right here. Again, just really playing against the flow of this game, but you know, you got to take your chances where you get them, and that's something Wayne State's done, and Northern State has not.
Well, and you're right, and I like the Wayne State has persevered. I mean, there some bad things happened there in that first quarter. They held Northern State after Northern State had the ball twice deep in their territory to just 3 points. And then the big play, obviously the difference in the game, but they've done what they've had to do to stay in this thing, and now they have the lead.
Low snap. Oy was able to get it away. Bird fields it at the 20. He'll get out of bounds just past the 25. There's a flag at the 21. I'm real curious. Well, they back it back to the 20. I'm curious what this is. I'm wondering if this is a fair catch violation.
Yeah, I'm wondering because it was right behind the returners where that flag was thrown.
Because there were no blockers there at that point. And indeed, this will back the Wildcats up. That almost kind of changes the strategy, I think, for a second, Lou. You know, You're looking at just a little over 2 minutes at your 25. Maybe you try and take a shot or two, but Now suddenly you're inside your own 15, and that's a little bit different situation.
Yeah, that's 10 yards, but it's a significant 10 yards.
Watkins, though, he's going to pick up yardage for the Wildcats. He's out past the 30, picks up a block, 45, 50, drug out of bounds on the sideline. That's going to be an extra 15, and just like that, oh boy, the Wildcats are in business.
Yeah, that's another big play. Arshawn Willis, the defensive back for Northern State, had him out of bounds and threw him to the ground after they were out of bounds. If he just lets go, there's no penalty, but he threw him to the ground after contact was made out of bounds. So a fairly easy call for the officials. That's going to be 15 more yards, a personal foul penalty. And boy, is Wayne State set up really well now. 1:58 to go. You still have 3 timeouts. You've got plenty of time here to run your offense.
That is the kind of big play ability you can get from Anthony Watkins. Bowen looking to throw just out in front of his receiver. As he had a step, did Lane Vanderwall. But just out a touch ahead of him, and that's going to bring up second down.
Yeah, you just got inside of defensive back Jack Myers there for Northern State. Had a step on him in the pass just too far in front of him. That certainly could have been a big play.
Vanderwall, one of a number of South Dakota natives looking to pick one up against his home state, Northern State. Now Bowen looking left side. That's a dangerous pass. Really became a free safety near the goal line. That was Mason Lee breaking it up.
Yeah, Bowen has played well in this half and has made some nice plays. That one was dangerous. That one hung up there. That was like a fly ball to center field. And you're right. That was a heck of a play there by was it Jaden Johnson, I believe, right? That knocked that one away, the receiver.
Bowen on 3rd and 10. He's going to run option. Now cuts it up the field. Tripped up just a bit.
That's not a fumble. He was down. The ball came out after he hit the ground.
Interesting decision here coming for Wayne State on 4th down. And I think Logan Masters knew this was 4-down territory. That's why they ran that option.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there wasn't a little bit of a turf monster there with Bowen. He just kind of stumbled. It looked like he was going to get more yards than that. He just kind of stumbled.
It was set up nicely.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Fourth down and 7 for the Wildcats.
You have to call time out here.
Yeah, he looks to the sideline. There's confusion. And that's indeed what's going to happen. Timeout for the Wildcats. We'll take a break with the Wildcats. Back with more after this. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
So orthopedics for me is just being able to restore people back to a quality of life that they aren't used to. It's see problem, fix problems. I grew up on a farm, which was a very visual type thing. You see a problem and you take care of it, and then you move on to the next problem once people are fully back and healed. I did play sports in high school, recreational in college. What it means is that I understand the motivation for younger athletes or older athletes even to want to get back to being able to participate in their sport at the level they were at prior to any injury they sustained. Obviously in orthopedics, technology drives a lot of what we do, and with being able to bring in new technology to help patients recover faster, it's been quite exciting. I think it's going to continue to evolve for the next 5, 10, 20 years.
Fourth down, Wildcats going for it as Bowen looks for Schmaderer but leaves it just a bit short. And that'll be a turnover on downs. 55 seconds left for Northern State here in the first half. What do the Wolves do strategically here, you think, Lou?
Well, you know, you got to be careful with this half. you don't want to turn it over here. You got a chance at worst to go in down 7 and regroup. And I think the message at halftime is you just got to finish drives. Now, I think what depends on what happens here. The first couple of plays, if you're able to get some yards here, I think you think about taking a shot.
Charrier on the left side. He stays in bounds. It'll be a short gain, and I think that pretty well tells the story of what we're going to see this drive, Lou.
Yep.
Speaking of frustration, which you just mentioned a bit ago, we're glad you're here watching Wayne State with us rather than the Nebraska game at the moment. Georgia Southern on top of the Huskers 7-0 as quarterback run here for the Wolves out toward the sideline. Goes Madler this time. And that'll bring up 3rd and short, but the clock stops at 26 seconds.
Yeah, Northern State, I think you're going to play a little bit conservative here. Maybe if you get a first down here, you get it up near midfield, you think about taking a shot downfield. Again, you don't want to come up with a big turnover. See how conservative they play it.
Madler hands off Charrier. He's ridden to the ground. And that'll bring up 4th down to the Wildcats. Well, they have no timeout, so there's really no choice on what to do with this.
Yeah, I think we're headed to halftime.
Indeed we are, and an impressive changing of the tide for the Wildcats and head coach Logan Masters. Cats are going to go into the halftime break ahead 10-3 from here at Bob Cunningham Field and Memorial Stadium in Wayne, America. We'll take a break and be back with the halftime show after this. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
At Elkhorn Valley Bank, we believe in local. It's something we live by. It's something we're proud of. It's helping our neighbors grow like they've helped us. Supporting families, investing in lives, and creating prosperity. Local means making decisions that grow and improve surrounding communities we call home. Investing in our nonprofits and giving back. Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, great for you, great for your community.
To your auto partner. There is no house divided when you choose Woodhouse. 18 brands, one team, a winning experience every time.
When you want to wear your school spirit on your sleeve, true Nebraskans turn to Custom Sports Screen Printing. No matter what activity you want to show off, Custom Sports has you covered in whatever color your spirit comes in. Check out the gallery at nebraskascreenprinting.com to see custom designs for every school activity, sport, booster club, and event. And get your group orders in now for a fast and convenient turnaround. Custom Sports Screen Printing at nebraskascreenprinting.com. Proud to be Nebraskan.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo, high-key internet for a low-key price. Thrift Warehouse in Wayne. Shop their huge selection of gently used name brand clothes, purses, and home decor. Want to know what games we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
Back here at Memorial Stadium and Bob Cunningham Field in beautiful Wayne, America on a wonderful night for college football. I'm Pat Jansen alongside Lou Siefker. We've got Nolan Hoffman down on the sidelines as well. And Lou may have been a bit unorthodox, but really a solid first half for the Wildcats as they're on top 10-3. It felt like it could have gotten away from them, but this Wayne State team showed a lot of energy, a lot of perseverance, and into the locker room at the break with the lead.
Yeah, they were. I think the word perseverance absolutely is important in that first half for Wayne State because the first couple of possessions there, Northern State had the ball in Wayne State territory, had it down by the goal line, and Wayne State's able to force a fumble and kept them from scoring. Now, Northern State does get a field goal out of that time in Wayne State territory, but that's all they've got. And for Wayne State, they've had the big play, that pass play 60-yard touchdown pass to Jaden Johnson has been the difference. So they've been also not only perseverance but opportunistic. They've been able to make the play when they've had to, and Northern State hasn't been able to do that. We saw a pass that probably could have been caught there down by the goal line for Northern State that they've just not been able to get that play that gets them over the hump. I think that the message at halftime really for Northern State is to finish drives and finish those opportunities when you get them. They've been pretty good. They've held the ball for 18 minutes and 18 seconds to 11 minutes for Wayne State, 4 of 7 on third down. But you look at the scoreboard, only 3 points to show for it.
Things really evened up, though. You know, we mentioned that Northern State was doubling up Wayne State in a number of plays. But by the time the half concluded, Northern State had only outgained Wayne State by 15 yards, 176 to 161. Wayne State having a better average of yards per play, about 6.5 yards per play compared to just a little over 4.5 for Northern State. When you look at the sort of distribution of how those two teams have gotten, where they've gotten offensively, pretty balanced for Northern State, 95 rushing yards and 80 passing yards. Wayne State pretty balanced as well, 74 and 87, but really the number that matters, that's the score, 10-3, Wildcats on top. Let's take a look at how we got here with some of the highlights at halftime. Clutch play defensively for Wayne State, although a little bit of help from Dominic Vaselli as he dropped it. That had a chance to put Northern State back on top, and then the missed field goal by Oy, and suddenly it remained a 3-3 game. What it looked like it could have been 10-3 with Northern State on top.
Yeah, those are the missed opportunities that we talked about. The drop pass there by the end zone, the missed field goal, those are opportunities at Northern State. I mean, you feel like if you get a couple of those, you're in great shape. And now here is the big play, the touchdown, Jaden Johnson all the way to the house. A heck of a pass there by Bone, and even better catch by Johnson. And that's been the difference. You know, you talked about the yardage, and if you take that play away, which you don't take it away, it counts, but you take it away, that's only 101 yards in the first half. But big plays count, obviously, and that's what Wayne State was able to do.
And Wayne State tried to extend that lead late in the first half as well, as we see the fourth down conversion end up just a bit short. But that's where we are, 10-3. Wayne State on top of Northern State, both teams looking to move to 2-0. We've got more halftime show coming up. After this, you're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
The postgame show is brought to you by... You're watching Wayne State football on News Channel Nebraska. The halftime show is brought to you by Wayne State College, devoted to student success for more than 100 years.
You need to lend a helping hand. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're here at the grill, waiting for the flip.
He has a great hot lie here on the grill. Looks like he is going with the tongs here, Jim. A great choice.
Timing is everything.
Nailed it!
A flip for the ages.
What a flip. Perfect marks. I'd take a slice out of that one.
Certified Piedmontese. Real Nebraska beef. So tender and dripping in flavor, you won't believe a steak this good can be shipped right to your front door.
If you're thinking about building in the country but still want to be close to a community with schools, medical, and a thriving downtown, consider purchasing on acreage at 220 acreage north of Hardington. With interest rates low, you can buy now and there's no requirement on when you need to build. Check out the property on Facebook at 220 acreage. Internet, water, country living, everything is ready for your dream come true home. Call 402-254-6895 today.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
My name is Jordan Oakes. I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and I practice here at Faith Regional Health Services. I came from a family, my mom and dad both kind of worked with people in the health services, so I saw that from an early age, and I had a natural affinity for the sciences, so that kind of drove me towards medicine. We're getting very good at what we do, so we're getting patients in and out of the hospital quicker. And, you know, specifically, you know, we're seeing more and more technology being implemented into the care process as well. I'd love patients to know that, you know, I have time for them. I think I'm very easy to get along with and I can relate to them. Looking forward to meeting a lot of people, and, you know, I want them to learn that I have a lot to offer them, and I'm here to, you know, get them back to the activities they love, whether it be they wore out their knee, you know, running for years, or maybe they took a slip and fall and need patched up.
Whether you play on a field, or play on a court, or are running to greatness, during the game and after the game, during the wins and during the losses, Agri City Insurance has you covered. Here to help you ensure what matters most. Agri City Insurance.
When the game wraps up, or even before kickoff, our community welcomes you with open arms. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is happy to have you here, and we want to show you what we're all about. From wide open spaces to music, shopping, entertainment, and more, there is always something for you to discover in our city. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket, or visit Lincoln.org. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Babies need chiropractic too. A chiropractic adjustment can give your baby the opportunity to heal better by allowing the nervous.
You have a business, and you are doing everything to make it run just right. But wouldn't it be great if you could talk to someone with good business advice? Someone with practice and perspective, experience. That is us. We are here to help you grow. Madison County Bank.
Halftime in Wayne, America. Pat Jansen alongside Lou Siefker. Also have Nolan Hoffman down on the sidelines. Thanks to Connor Luby and our entire crew tonight, as we're having fun here in Wayne watching the band. Let's take a look at the Community Spotlight, brought to you by Allo. High-key internet for a low-key price. So you want to learn more about Wayne State College? Well, it's been around a while. Founded in 1891. We're here at Memorial Stadium, home of the Wildcats since 1931, and big part of Memorial Stadium, well, it's that field down there, that field turf, Bob Cunningham Field, named after a three-sport Hall of Fame athlete. That's been a little while ago, too. And we're right here in Wayne, which this is also the stadium where Wayne High plays, and the community comes out for both of those. Population of a little over 5,600. It's a Class C1 high school, in case you were curious. So not a large community, but they get behind their Wildcats, a beautiful campus here. It's a fantastic place. I'll go ahead and say full disclosure. It's where I went, Lou. Had a lot of fun here at Wayne State. It's a campus that continues to sprout up and just evolve and grow, and we're happy to be here.
So you graduated from Wayne State?
I sure did.
Well, it's a good school anyway. It's a great place to go to school. I've got several friends that went here, and a future daughter-in-law that went here, and Everybody's had a great experience. I just think this is not only a fun place to watch football, but a great school as well. Affordable school, great place to be, a great community, and I think it would even be better if Wayne State puts together another couple quarters here against Northern State. Northern State, that's scary because the way they move the ball at times in that first half, I think they believe they can come back here and control the second half. Wayne State, again, with that one big play that makes the yardage look closer, but really throughout that first half, Northern State really controlled things between the 20s. They just weren't able to put the ball in the end zone when they got there. Again, that's going to be the key here is can they finish drives? Can Wayne State continue to keep them out of that end zone? And can Wayne State continue to make some big plays and put some distance between them and the Wolves?
Let's take a look at a few of the statistics. Of course, the score, 10-3. Northern State with 11 first downs to Wayne State's 8. 104 rushing yards. I was a little off on that earlier for Northern State on 24 carries. 74 for Wayne State on 16 carries. Wayne State outpassing Northern State, obviously 60 of that on one play, 87-80, as Bowen was 5 of 9, while the Wolves 10 of 16. Just the one turnover in the game, but it was a big one with Northern State driving. They got about to the 1 yard line, but a lost fumble, and that helped kind of keep Wayne State within punching distance. And, when you look at the punts as well, you don't necessarily look at that statistic as a big one, but Wayne State averaging 44.5 yards on 2 punts, one of those coming from the shadow of Powder's own goalpost. Yeah. And that was a big moment early in the game, right. Lou.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally, the line of scrimmage was like inside the 1, and you had to get that off quickly, and that's what I was talking about. Alex Powders is a good place kicker as well, an excellent punter, and did a nice job just to get rid of that and got it out to about the 43-yard line, so that was big. That's kind of an overlooked part of the game is the punting. If you have a good punter, man, you've got a weapon. And I think really both of these teams have good kickers, but certainly for Wayne State, Alex Powders, he makes a field goal, and also, as you mentioned, some quality punting, including that one out of the back of his own end zone.
Well, he's 1 for 1 on field goals, while Northern State 1 for 2. Another couple key stats. You mentioned it a little bit ago, 19 minutes time of possession for Northern State compared to 11 for Wayne State. Third down conversions, Northern State 50%, 4 of 8. Wildcats just 1 of 5. We're enjoying football here tonight, but also wanted to give a shout out to the Wayne State volleyball team as they remained undefeated today. And last night they defeated number 3 Concordia St. Paul for the second time in a week. Wildcats 10-0. And in the top 5 nationally, so a lot of fun stuff happening here for Wayne State in the fall.
Pat, this is not a football state. This is a volleyball state.
Yeah.
There's great volleyball being played at every level in college. You start, obviously, with the University of Nebraska and how good they are, but you saw Creighton and UNO playing today, and then you drop down to Wayne State is so good, UNK. There are so many good volleyball programs in this state. This is a volleyball state, no doubt about it.
And we'll have Wayne State versus Peru State volleyball this Tuesday on News Channel Nebraska. So a whole chance to see a lot more of it right here on this very network. And we're here at halftime at Memorial Stadium, and a big sponsor for us allowing us to do this game, Piedmontese Beef. Go ahead and get yourself some of that. We've had some mailed to us recently, and you can do that very thing. You can have it dropped off at your doorstep and meat at your home when you come home from work. There are far worse things, Lou Siefker.
No doubt about it. If they say if you keep your wife happy, it's a happy home. I'll say that not only is my wife happy, but all of our taste buds are very happy. It's a very happy home since we've had Piedmontese beef come into our household.
It's Italian heritage breed, Nebraska-raised perfection. I can attest it's lean, it's tender, it's delicious. Get yourself some healthy power. I'm sure, the Wayne State training table wouldn't scoff at getting some Piedmontese beef. You can get certified Piedmontese beef by ordering it at cpbeef.com.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. Maybe talk some more about that Piedmontese beef.
Making me hungry.
We'll be back with more. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
I was working at a manufacturing home plant here in town. I was working with a radial arm saw where you hit a button on the floor and it activates the saw to come out. I reached down, didn't realize somebody had moved the pedal over in front of the saw. When I reached down for it, my foot hit the pedal and my hand was gone. So they life-flighted me to Norfolk, and 13 hours later, I got my hand back on. Faith Regional, Dr. Harsel, a deep place in my heart. Very awesome place. I mean, they're always right there. Saved my hand, saved my life. I chose to stay at Faith Regional for my therapy because they knew what they were doing. They worked with me from day one. Therapy team is just tremendous at what they do. If you have any kind of hand problems, surgery, whatever, go see the team at Faith Regional. When I needed major hand surgery, I had faith.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Wayne State College football on News Channel Nebraska. I'm Pat Jansen alongside Lou Siefker. We've got Nolan Hoffman down there on the sidelines. We mentioned, Lou, how dominant Northern State was in certain facets of the game last week. One of those was the performance of Dominic Faselli. He had 8 catches for 94 yards. You compare that to the first half tonight, Faselli with just 3 catches and 19 yards. He did have the 1 drop, but the Wayne State defense has done a nice job on him. But you also look at the Northern State defense. They allowed just 156 total yards last week. Meanwhile, Wayne State already has surpassed that with 161 in the first half. Got to be things that you like for the Wildcats heading into this second half.
Well, I think for Wayne State, it's a matter of continuing to come up with the big play and finding ways to to score on these guys. I don't know that they've been able to really sustain a long drive. Their touchdown came off of the big play, and I think for defensively for Wayne State, you've got to try to control that game up front. I thought the Northern State offensive line at times was dominant against the Wayne State front, but again, you look up with 3 points, but it's going to be key to try to make them more one-dimensional here in the second half and try to control that run game.
You mentioned the lack of sustained drive. Really the best drive for Wayne State was that field goal drive.
Yeah.
Their 3rd drive of the game, as Northern State will start at their own 21-yard line. Luke Gunderson, excuse me, that is not Gunderson, I beg your pardon, who returned that, but took a pretty big pop on the kickoff return.
Yeah, another good coverage there on the kickoff team. Like the Wayne State guys, they cover well and they hit hard. Make you think twice about returning kicks against these guys.
Here's a reason I questioned myself. That was Luke Gunderson on the return. Luke Gunderson's a linebacker. As the Wolves go deep on the first play of the second half. Looked like Faselli had that, but Faselli for the second time tonight drops it.
Yeah, that's unusual. And he is, as you mentioned, had a heck of a game in the opener. A couple of drops. He is quick as a hiccup, man. He got out there, and that ball was on the money. Just not able to secure it. Unusual for a really good receiver.
Yeah, I think that was Bond's best throw of the night. 2nd and 10 for the Wolves. Shotgun snap looks left, right away. Out of the gate. And good yardage on second down. It'll be short of the sticks, but it'll bring up second and short for the Wolves.
Yeah, just trying to the short pass play to get some yards and set yourself up for a third and manageable.
You said short pass play, and that may be literal. That went to Wyatt Block, who's 5'7".
A 3rd and 3. For Northern State, you feel like you need to put something together. You need to have some positives. You need to put together a drive and get some points on the board to start feeling good about what's going on here tonight.
Big play here on third down. Bonds looking left side over the middle and picked off. Wildcats get the interception. Second turnover of the night.
That's Tanner.
Hauled in.
Tanner Cooper.
The junior from Oakley, California, transfer from Diablo Valley College.
We saw one of those in the first half, Pat. One of those that's just a little hot, a little high from the receiver. The ball's batted in the air. And Cooper's able to snag that one.
And typically you feel as a defender, that's great when it goes up in the air, but that almost gave Northern State another crack at it, it looked like. But Cooper got his paws on it, and the Cats are in business.
If you're the defense and that ball is up in the air, you feel like that's your ball.
Watkins will get the carry on first down, about 3 yards. Bring up 2nd and 7. Wildcats looking to go up 2 possessions, and you got to feel like that's just going to be a kick into the teeth psychologically for Northern State if Wayne State comes up with points here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you feel like you've outplayed Wayne State. Wayne State's coming up with the big plays. That's the second turnover. You're losing the turnover battle, and you're losing the big play battle to Wayne State right now.
Watkins up the middle. He's near the first down marker. You got to figure, though, too, if Northern State is somehow able to turn away Wayne State, that's a pretty big momentum shot the other way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The sudden change defense, if you're able to stop your opponent after a turnover, especially one in your own territory like that, that does give you momentum. And I think for Wayne State, you've got to get some points on the board here. Even a field goal, that gives you a 10-point lead, but you don't want to get another turnover here and come away with nothing.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Bone is just swallowed up behind the sticks. There was a lot of confusion on that play for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that did not look good, and it was good penetration there by that left side of the defensive front for Northern State. That was number 56, Luke Chol, kind of led the charge there. Kind of looks like Dexter Manley in the Redskin team here.
Chol, another one of those graduates from Minneapolis. Man in motion. It'll be pitched to Lee, and Lee is gobbled up, and really this Northern State defense bowing its neck here. And it's a big 3rd and long, about 3rd and 15 for the Wildcats.
And Northern State not fooled by that one. That's called playing your assignment that time, and that was, I believe, I guess I did not get that number. Maybe Jordan Hillesheim.
Bowen backing up a long way, looking to throw, and that's dangerous. Ooh. Nearly picked off. Getting his hands on it was Trey King, the sophomore from Irene, South Dakota, the linebacker. Really had a good chance at an interception there, and it's going to be 4th and long for the Wildcats. It looks like it will be Powders coming on for what looks like it'll be about a 43-yard field goal from about the middle of the field.
Like I just said, conversely, Northern State, you turn it over. I think this is a big kick here. Can Wayne State go up 2 scores?
Bowen to hold, snap down. Kick is up, and it is good. Alex Powders from 43 yards out makes it a 2-possession game for the Wildcats. 13-3, Wayne State on top. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more after this on News Channel Nebraska.
Wayne State is the college of choice.
Smart choice. Sound choice.
Natural choice.
Strong choice. Original choice.
Bold choice. Affordable choice.
With over 130 programs of study, Wayne State College is the
first choice. First choice.
First choice.
For students who want an excellent education at an affordable cost. Get started at ExploreWayneStateCollege.com.
Your third quarter here on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you by the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau. Play, visit, meet, and compete at www.lincoln.org.
You always want to come away with points off a turnover, especially one in your opponent's territory. Wayne State would love to have had a touchdown. They don't get it, but they do get a field goal. And I think that's important. I think if you go back to the other turnover, which was around the 1-yard line of Wayne State, that's kind of a 10-point swing. You get the field goal, you prevent the touchdown, and the turnovers are playing a big part in this ballgame right now.
Kick fielded at the goal line. Out past the 25 to the 30. And that's where the Wolves will start. Tonight's game brought to you by Currency. Need financing for RVs, ATVs, or other expensive items? Currency is here to help. Visit gocurrency.com today. Also, tonight's game brought to you by Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith. Just a little over 11 minutes left to play, third quarter. And it'll be a design quarterback run for the Wolves. Big hit as Will Madler gets upended. It'll be a lot of contact for about 3 yards gained for the Wolves. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Madler coming in as apparently the running quarterback and takes a bit of a shot there. Bounces up nicely. I think for Northern State, you've got to find that success on the ground. And they like to throw the football. But since the first quarter, I think Wayne State's done a nice job to slow that running game down.
He's got Wyatt Block in the backfield with him this time, and that's who takes the handoff and met really at the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten 2. A yard and a half is probably closer to what it'll be. It'll be 3rd and a long 5 for the Wolves. Good job by that Wayne State defensive front.
Yeah, and then Marzion Cosby, the cornerback, coming in to finish that play. The 5'10 sophomore from Peoria, Arizona. That's quite a ways away.
Jacob Bird trying to get the Wayne State crowd fired up. It's a big third down here for both squads. Madler takes the shotgun snap. He's chased out and nearly intercepted once again. That was a dangerous pass as he was getting pulled to the ground. Unable to haul that one in was Marzion Cosby, the aforementioned Arizona native.
Yeah, 2 plays in a row. That one he wants back. That one he had a chance. That's a low throw, but boy, if he catches that, that's 6 points. And that was all set up by great pressure, where you force the quarterback into throwing the ball like that, getting rid of it quickly, then usually good things come to you defensively. But as it is, a 3 and out. Great job here. Wayne State makes Northern State get rid of the football.
Thought for a second Madler might have been down before he got rid of the ball. But as it is, good defensive stop for the Wildcats, and Wayne State will start from their own 25-yard line after the fair catch by Bird.
We just mentioned that Northern State needs to try to establish a little bit of a ground game, try to keep Wayne State off balance like they were able to do earlier in the ball game. Not able to do that here so far in the third quarter. Conversely, I think Wayne State needs to do the same thing. They need to find some ground, or rather yards on the ground, and try to keep this aggressive Northern State defense a little bit at bay.
And first down carry. This time they go to Corin Lynch. And he's a little bit more stout, but he gets out and gets good yardage. Don't forget the post-game show coming up, brought to you by Thrift Warehouse. That's in Wayne. Shop their huge selection of gently used name brand clothes, purses, and home decor. Second down does not go nearly as well for the Wildcats this time, as it'll be a loss, and it'll bring up 3rd and about 4.
It's run there on first down. And if you're able, really for either of these teams, both these teams, Northern State had a nice game passing the ball. I think they like to throw the football, but I think both teams, for their offenses to work and work well, we got a young man for Northern State down right now. They need to be able to establish a ground game and again, keep that defense a little bit off balance and set up some of those throws.
One of those big defensive linemen for Northern State, that's Isaiah Nolan, a redshirt senior from St. Michael, Minnesota. Able to get off the field, but not looking like he's feeling real great about it.
Yeah, still having a little bit of help. That's never a great sign when you're not walking off on your own power. We'll see if he gets back in the game at all here tonight.
Big 3rd down. Bowen throws left side. That's complete to Mason Lee. He's out past the first down sticks and dragged out of bounds near midfield. Nearly a horse collar. But Mason Lee, the former Wayne Blue Devil and current Wayne State Wildcat, he's got the Wildcats in business.
Well, Mr. Consistency, another catch, another game, another catch. Ho-ha, Mason Lee always finds the football. He's only had one game that he did not get a catch in his career here at Wayne State.
Bowen looking to throw once again, steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to run. He's got some space out past midfield, tracked down near the sideline, and really, that's phenomenal pursuit by Trey King to get him before he gets to the sideline, but it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats.
You certainly take 5 yards on first down every time. Try to open up that playbook. That's a team that likes to be balanced. When they get that 2nd and 5, that really, again, that keeps the defense guessing a little bit.
Looking at that Madison County Bank replay, it looked like Bowen thought that he was going to get to the sideline, didn't realize that he had King tracking him down as the handoff goes nowhere with Lynch that time around, or it goes somewhere, just not very far. It's going to bring up 3rd and a pretty long 3.
Well, certainly, I think if you're Wayne State, you like the down and distance right now, and your field position. Maybe, just maybe, you think about going for 4th down if you can get a couple yards here on 3rd down. Under
center goes Bowen. He's going to roll left side, tosses it out for Schmaderer, who's got it. Just a little lob pass there, and nice job tracking it by Schmaderer.
It almost looked like the basketball play where you throw it up there and your teammate slam dunks it. That just right over just loops it over the defense. Schmaderer goes and gets it. That's a harder catch than it looks, especially with a defender bearing down on you. But a great executed play there. Wayne State moving the football.
Well, that's about the best alley-oop that you can see on a football field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wildcats moving, 1st and 10. Handoff, Watkins, stutter steps, tries to bite his way through, and he'll get to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 8 upcoming for the Wildcats.
Well, Northern State is really selling out on those run plays. We'll see if there maybe Wayne State throws a play action. That last play, Nate Robinson was, I'm not sure it was a run blitz, but he was sure coming up. He was kind of cheating up and tried to shoot the gap there. Again, Northern State very aggressive, trying to slow down Wayne State's running game. Might be susceptible for a play action pass.
Couple tight ends in for the Wildcats now. Watkins in the backfield with Bowen. It's going to be an option pitch right side. Watkins trying to cut up. He's out to about the 30-yard line. It's going to make it a third and manageable for the Wildcats.
Kind of where you were just a moment ago, and with better field position, see what you can get here on third down if you don't pick it up. I think Coach Masters just might think about it for it. I mean, you certainly have got a really good kicker who's already made it a field goal or two here in this ball game.
Right on the edge of his range, it would be about a 47-yarder from here.
He's made a 43-yarder, so certainly I think within range.
Well, may be coming out of it here after the bobbled snap. Bowen doing everything he can to try and get back to the original line of scrimmage. I think they had the play set up they wanted, but the snap did not go according to plan, and it's going to be fourth down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's a mistake there for Wayne State because you really had a nice drive going at that point, and that mishandled snap really set you back. Now they're talking about it. Looks like they might be thinking about going for it.
Yeah, see Powders still down here on the sideline. He did not budge toward the field, so it's fourth down and 6 from the 33-yard line. Logan Masters is upset. He and his offensive coordinator, Colin Prosser, very animated toward each other in that moment. And Logan Masters, not exactly a guy who gets angry himself, but it's a timeout for the Wildcats. We'll take a break with Wayne State as well. 13-3, Wildcats on top. Back with more after this on News Channel Nebraska.
At Unity Eye Centers in Norfolk, their focus is on you. As the leading provider of optometry with advanced diagnostics and equipment, they can ensure your eye health is their top priority. A quick glance at their frame area will show you that you can have style as well as function, with plenty of frames to choose from. Their mission is to educate patients and provide cutting-edge technology and exceptional service with personalized care. Come to Unity Eye Centers in Norfolk to clearly see the difference. Why? Because your eyes deserve it.
Big fourth down upcoming for the Wildcats. We see Logan Masters and his offensive coordinator Colin Prosser both on the sideline. They're former teammates. As Bowen takes the snap, and he is going to be buried. Protection broke down pretty quickly, and suddenly it's really good field position for Northern State.
Well, I tell you what, you got Luke Joel coming bearing down on you. That's a frightening proposition. A couple of defenders there for Northern State. That was great pressure. We'll see it again here. I don't know if they were trying to roll out and then come back the other way, but you got about 3 different guys there for Northern State. We mentioned Joel, and you also might have been Logan Grossinger. Might have been the other guy here.
With a screen, you kind of let that defensive line through intentionally, but you got to get some level of chip on one of those guys, or otherwise you got no time. And suddenly there's a screen, and it's going to be a halfback pass. Charrier going down the field, and it's intercepted. Third turnover of the game, forced by the Wildcat defense. And coming up with it was Cooper, his second pick of the game.
Yeah, Tanner Cooper back there playing free safety, and he's playing it well. And that, I mean, if you're going to run a halfback pass like that, you've got to get rid of the football a little bit quicker and try to lead your receiver. That ball just hung up there. We've seen a couple of those, just kind of like those fly balls to center field, and that's an easy play for a free safety like Tanner Cooper to go get. So turnover number 3 for Northern State. They are not helping themselves at all, just not taking care of the football.
France really kind of set a screen because he was battling with Noland. And Cooper was able to fly in and make the pick. Now we'll see if Wayne State can do something with it. They get a yard on first down, maybe.
Yeah, Luke Gunderson with a tackle on that last play. He came across the field and Absolutely laid the lumber there. Big-time tackle.
13-3, Wildcats on top. Handoff. Watkins once again shifts away, and he's got that second gear. He's out past the 30-yard line. It's going to make it third down and a lot more manageable than it was.
Yeah, Watkins is a guy, boy, if he catches that edge, look out. He's one of those guys, when he gets the football, people stand up. They just feel like something big's going to happen.
Started out his career at Dodge City Community College, and he fumbles this one. Big fumble and picked up, just poked out and recovered by Trevor Johnson. Really, if he could have kept his feet, that's 6.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a touchdown. That looked like an easy touchdown. Johnson, I think you try to do things quickly here, obviously. He scoops it up, just not able to keep his feet. I thought maybe he rushed it a little bit, had time to secure the football, pick it up, and run it in. As it is, that's obviously a big turnover because you've got the ball now about the 7-yard line of Wayne State. This is a crucial drive. I mean, a crucial possession here for Northern State. You've got to score, and I think you've got to put the ball in the end zone here to really feel good about things, but certainly you've got to get points on the board.
Well, Wayne State has been winning the turnover battle, especially at big moments, but that was massive, as now it'll be a quarterback run play. Inside the 5-yard line goes Madler. And you said it, Lou. Really crucial for both teams here.
That's interesting. Northern State, I think they feel a little bit more comfortable running the football with Madler back there. Inside the 5, as we're ticking away toward the fourth quarter. You said it, Pat. Very important, really, for both teams here.
This could go a long way toward changing momentum as Madler, he's going to run left side again, tries to cut it outside. Nothing doing for him. That Wayne State defense is just too fast on the edge to try and do that bounce cut to the outside.
Yeah, I really like the pursuit there to the football. I mean, you're right, Pat. That's a speedy defense. You've got to hit that edge in a hurry because that's going to close down if you don't. Now third down. Now Northern State will take a field goal, but you feel like it's a win if you're Wayne State if you keep them out of the end zone.
A field goal would make it a one-possession game. Madler dropped his mouth guard, now ready to go once again. He's looking to throw left side, now back toward his right. Running. There's a flag. Thrown toward the end zone, left it short. Looking for Faselli. And I think this is going to be a hold.
Yep.
I mean, that would be smart money. Not that I've been known for that.
Smarter money. Yeah, definite hold. So Northern State, they're getting in their own way right now. I mean, certainly that play did not work. We'll see. Does Wayne State decline the penalty or move them back here?
That's a real interesting call. Typically you kind of look at just getting a team to fourth down, although it was inside the 5, so you don't want to take that for granted. You want to maybe potentially make the field goal harder if you can, but you can't take for granted that they're not going to convert. Here's a look at that last play.
Had a guy wide open there in the back.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get it to him.
Yeah, that was Faselli. Third down once again, this time from the 15. Madler being chased out once again. There may be another hold. There's no flag. He's looking for Faselli in the back of the end zone once again. Left it short last time, goes high this time, and it'll be the field goal unit trotting on for the Wolves.
Well, that's why head coaches get paid good money, because that's a tough decision to give Northern State another down, and almost paid for it there. Again, Faselli, that's twice he was open in the back of the end zone, just missed him both times. Pressure the first time, and certainly pressure helped that time. But Northern State with they missed the opportunity. Probably should have been able to pick that fumble up and run it in for the touchdown, but Wayne State's defense holds again.
Kick up, and it is good. This time, Oy converts. So it's a one-possession ball game. 13-6, Wildcats on top after Northern State gets the field goal. We'll take a break and be back with more. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Allo, high-key internet for a low-key price. Thrift Warehouse in Wayne. Shop their huge selection of gently used name brand clothes, purses, and home decor. Want to know what games we're televising each week? Follow us on Twitter at NCN Sports.
For the streamers, for the gamers, for the long-distance video call makers, for the ones who don't want to miss out on the fiber things in life, they have Allo. Allo Fiber Internet keeps you connected with fast, reliable service and 24/7 support, so you can always get the ultimate experience. No hidden fees, no expiration dates, and no contracts. Experience the fiber things in life with Allo's super fast internet. Visit us at allofiber.com/fiberthings.
Pat Jansen alongside Lou Siefker for Wayne State College football. Let's send it down to the field for the third member of our crew, Nolan Hoffman. Nolan?
Actually, last week, Wayne State College, even they won the game, but they were actually outgained in total yards in that victory. And today, multiple turnovers, only 6 points on that stand right there to force a field goal. Coach Logan Masters has to be thrilled so far with his defense of performance this game. Back up to you, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Nolan. We mentioned it earlier, the defensive coordinator, someone who's been part of this program for a while, now with his third head coach, Scott McLaughlin. Used to coach for his dad, Dan McLaughlin, then John McMiniman last year, and now under Coach Logan Masters as Bowen takes the shotgun snap, looking deep right side, and that is too deep, and it'll be second down for the Wildcats.
They're trying to take a shot, trying to get a big play. And for Wayne State, now I think you'd certainly like to be able to put together a drive. I don't think you want to give the ball right back to Northern State, but I don't have a problem with trying to take a shot here on first down.
That was David Elder who he was trying to go to on that last pass. 2nd and 10. Fake the handoff to the motion man, and Bowen busts through the middle, past the 45, scampers out of bounds at midfield, and there's that athleticism of the former Bennington Badger.
Yeah, Bowen just kind of bounced out of there. It looked like he was going to get swarmed under, and bounces that out to the outside. You're right, that great athleticism gets that not only a first down, but a big gain up to midfield.
1st and 10 at that Wildcat paw, hands it off up the middle, and it'll be about 3 yards for the Wildcats as that's Lynch tackled after the carry.
Might be the last play of the third quarter. I think they're headed to quarter number 4 with a 7-point lead, a one-possession lead for Wayne State.
Throw those 4 fingers in the air. We've got a big one coming up. Let's take a break and be back for the thrilling conclusion. 13-6, Wildcats on top of Northern State. Back with more. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. legendary family adventures. Out of this world shopping. Star-studded evenings and award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
We've got a good one here in Wayne, America. Pat Jansen alongside Lou Siefker and Nolan Hoffman. Wayne State on top of Northern State 13-6. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Currency's here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Tonight's broadcast also brought to you by Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith. Big drive here for Wayne State, trying to extend this back to a 2-possession lead. Definitely can't feel comfortable with just a 1-score lead, especially with the way that Northern State has controlled possession at times throughout the evening, Lou.
Yeah, certainly Wayne State, you want to try to get that up to a 2-possession lead. You got the ball in Northern State territory, and now you're looking at third and very manageable 3rd and 3.
Lynch in the backfield with Bowen. Bowen hands it off to Lynch, left side, trying to power his way forward. Does he get there? I think he's going to be short.
It's going to be awfully close.
Real tricky spot in the field as far as decision-making goes. Wayne State went for it on 4th down, a little further down the field earlier, but a sack, really, and it set Northern State up in really good field position, and Logan Masters is going to play the field position game. He's going to bring Alex Powders out to punt this one away.
The defense has done a good job. I think that's a good calculated risk. You don't want to give Northern State the good field position. I think you want to try to pin them deep, and Powders obviously a good punter.
Powders stands at his own 45, and we've got a whistle before this one. Powders had a pretty nice little punt there that landed at the 15, but
delay a game.
Not a terrible penalty for Wayne State when you're trying to back a team up.
No. Your punter a little bit more room to work with. He's going to try to coffin corner that thing. He was trying to do that the last kick and try to keep Northern State, try to get them inside maybe the 15, around the 10-yard line or even farther. Try to back them up as much as you can.
Noland stands at his own 10 awaiting this one. Powders gets it away, high, end over end, and it's fielded at the 15 by Noland, and that's where the Wolves will start with 85 yards to go to try and tie this one up. Don't miss the top plays after tonight's game. Brought to you by Currency. Need financing for RVs, ATVs, or other expensive items? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com today.
A couple different styles of punts. Both of them, I think, worked pretty well for Powders. And now you've got Northern State backed up at the 15-yard line.
Bonds back in, whips it out left side, long way across the field. Nolan makes the catch, and he's got first down yardage. Northern State pretty quickly on the move here.
Yeah, they've done a good job at times when Wayne State's been sitting back in that zone and running some good routes. That was a good pass there. And I think that, again, the receivers are running pretty good routes. If you get them the football, protect your quarterback, you've got a chance here if you're Northern State to move the ball. They're only down a touchdown.
1st and 10, Bonds takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right side, completes it to Faselli, who's not had a lot of those tonight, but Faselli with a first down. That's the 8th time he's been targeted, but just his 4th catch gets him to 30 yards for the night.
Well, make no question about it. They're going to go to him. He's one of their top guys, and That's two really good passes by Bonds. Both of them were strikes. I think between this quarterback and these receivers, I think they've got a chance to have a really good year this year. I think they run, as I just said, run good routes, and Bonds has thrown a couple of strikes the last two passes.
Bonds throws left side and hits his running back out of the backfield, and I think there's going to be additional yardage after a hit on Bonds.
Yep, late hit. There was about two or three Wayne State guys that hit Bonds, and they hit him after he got rid of the pass. So, again, an easy call, official right there on the play, and that's a big mistake. That's the kind of mistake you can't have right now. You don't want to give Northern State any momentum at all. Northern State's moving the football. Now you've just given them 15 extra yards.
As we could see on the Madison County Bank replay, I think it was that high-low combination that really was the difference. But he was able to get the ball out to Cherrier, who did a lot of work himself, and suddenly Northern State's already at the Wayne State 30-yard line.
I agree with you. I think the high-low was a big part of that. I think officials also make a concerted effort to protect the quarterback, so if the ball is out of his hands, you've got to try your best to let up.
Bonds from the shotgun. Hands it off Cherrier, who cuts back right side, now back up the middle, and he's got first down yardage on first down.
Well, that's a guy that's got to have the football in his hands here in the fourth quarter. Did not have a carry in the third quarter. 10 carries in the first half for 43 yards. Did not carry the ball in the third quarter. And you see what kind of a running back he is. I really like him carrying the football here. I think you got to keep going to it.
Cherrier and Brenton have been nice complementary pieces. You mentioned in that third quarter, there were a couple drives where they had Wyatt Block out there, and no disrespect to Block, but it seemed like the drives did not have the same mustard for Northern State when they took those first two guys out.
Yeah, I agree. This is the best that Northern State's offense has looked since the first half.
Crowd getting behind the Wildcats. It's 2nd and 7. Bonds hands it off to Brenton, who's inside the 15 to about the 13, and it's going to be, I think, 3rd and 4 for the Wolves. Another big play for both of these teams. The Wildcats trying to charge up the crowd.
Well, we've seen one touchdown today, and that was on a 60-yard pass. When teams got in the red zone, it's been a lot of field goals. Can Northern State continue this drive, sustain this drive? And then the question becomes, what do you do if you're running into a fourth down? Do you kick a field goal? A lot of time left to be played here in this fourth quarter. That gets you certainly within 4 points if you can kick a field goal.
And we're going to have a timeout here. It looked like there was going to be a lot of interesting motion from Northern State. While they talk it over, we'll take a quick break and be back with more. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
To your auto partner, there is no house divided when you choose Woodhouse. 18 brands, one team, a winning experience every time.
Don't forget to stick around for our Player of the Game, brought to you by Wayne State College, devoted to student success for more than 100 years. Pat Jansen alongside Lou Siefker and Nolan Hoffman. We've got a good one here tonight. 13-6, Wayne State on top, but the Wolves threatening here. 3rd down and 4 for Northern State. Bonds from the shotgun throws left side, nearly picked off. There was a lot of contact as Noland wanted interference, but he's not going to get it. And Wildcats force a 4th down, and there's the answer to your question, Lou. They're going to try and kick for 3.
Yeah, I think with 4th and 5, this is a no-brainer. You want points, a lot of time to be played. If it was 4th and 1, maybe a different story. But at 4th and 5, a good stand again by Wayne State. Now Oy here, a good kicker. He's already missed one today.
Snap down, kick up, and it is good from almost the exact same spot where he missed earlier. And it remains a 7-point game. There have been a few bend but don't break moments, and there's another one for the Wildcats.
Well, you make those field goals, and that's certainly within Oy's range. He kicked a 49-yarder last week. Just having a tough time here today at Wayne State. If you make those field goals, obviously a 1-point game. As it is, still a touchdown lead for Wayne State. And well, you make decisions, and head coach Mike Schmidt of Northern State, you got to feel a little perplexed. I think you trust your kicker again. Boy, he's a good kicker. He's just having a tough night here tonight.
Big drive here for the Wayne State offense and the Northern State defense, to be completely honest, as the handoff goes nowhere for the Wildcats. And you mentioned earlier, Lou, that it's been cool a lot of today, but it did start to heat up before the game, and I think we're maybe starting to see a little bit of cramping from Luke Chol. I hope that's all that is, and indeed that is what it looks like.
Yeah, that's definitely a cramp. And as I've said many times before, the problem with cramps, I mean, certainly they're painful, but sometimes the problem with cramps is if you get them, sometimes they're tough to get rid of them.
They're terrible.
And so that is certainly a player like Chol. The Northern State defense, he's one of their better defenders. You want that guy out there on the field.
Well, just before game time, it felt pretty warm on that field turf. You get that heat kind of bouncing off those former tires, and it can be a little warm. It is cooling off. Obviously, the sun's down. It's a fantastic night here in Wayne. Chol, you can see he's got cramp legs.
I certainly don't mean to laugh at the young man. The reason I laugh is because I've been there. I've had those.
Me too.
I know what that feels like.
I used to work out in a gym about 0.7 miles from my home. I would walk there. That's when you get that, that's a terrible experience trying to get home. You just want to crawl.
You start hailing a cab or something at that point.
Well, hopefully Mr. Chol doesn't have to do that to get back to Aberdeen tonight. As the handoff goes to Watkins, cuts it back right side. He's trying to find some green, not a lot there. They're going to mark him down at the 23. I thought he maybe stretched forward toward the 25, but they're going to get him with his knee down, and suddenly it's 3rd and about 8 for the Wildcats. Maybe a long 7.
Yeah, Wayne State, you'd like to have a better drive than this. 3rd down and a long 7. You'd like to get a first down here for Northern State. Nothing you'd like better than a 3 and out.
Clock running under 9 minutes. Bone looking left side. He's got a man, got his tight end, and near the sticks, they're gonna mark him short, I think.
Short by about a yard, it looks like.
I thought he was closer than that, but he may have hit the sidelines a little sooner, and suddenly it's a likely punting situation. Indeed, that is the case.
Again, Wayne State's defense has risen to the occasion all night long. I think best case scenario for Wayne State would be to put together some first downs and run some clock. That didn't happen. But the last thing you're going to try to do here is to go for it 4th and 1, and you're this deep in your own territory, and give Northern State another chance. You want to let your defense do what they've been doing all night, and that's just play good football.
By the way, that was former Wahoo Newman Cavalier Trey Miller on that last reception. And there was a lot of clunkiness on that punt. It was kind of a low line drive, then picked up, a lot of contact at the end.
That's scary.
That could have gone wrong about 1,000 different ways for either team.
Well, certainly for Northern State. I mean, you got a great chance for some good field position. That nearly was a turnover. I guess you commend him for his bravery there, but that's a scary play because you took contact right as you're catching, trying to maintain field position, catching the football, and they're fortunate they didn't end up in a fumble.
37-yard punt. not one of Powder's longer efforts. As Bonds takes the shotgun snap, he throws right side and complete for a short gain to his running back, Charrier. That's going to bring up second and about 6 for the Wolves.
Wayne State is doing a good job rushing 4. They've been able to kind of pressure that pocket a little bit. And they haven't had to do a lot of stunting or blitzing at that point. They've just been able to rush 4, and they've done a good job to put at least enough pressure on the Northern State quarterbacks to make a difference.
Bonds from the shotgun throws left side. He's got Noland who scoots away from Fly, gets out of bounds, and does hit the deck with contact afterward, but it looked like trying to hold him up was Jalen Scott, the linebacker. There will be no penalty on that one.
Yeah, certainly nothing egregious there. I think, if anything, it was more of a slip than a late hit out of bounds.
The ball exactly at midfield on the left hash at the bottom of the Wayne State Wildcat paw. Wolves on the move once again, trying to tie this game up. Bonds will fake the handoff, and he is buried behind the line of scrimmage. Jackson Johnson comes through. The Bancroft native with the big stop, and the sack puts Northern State behind the sticks.
Yeah, it's a big play there. Great pressure again. And you see that collapses very, very much in a hurry. And I believe that was Rex Becker coming from the other side. He did not make the play, but he helped disrupt the play. Great pressure from both sides of that Wayne State defense.
Bonds with a lot of pressure again, this time trying to set up a screen. He was just trying to get rid of it for dear life. Charrier had no chance at it. Bonds gets up slowly, and it's 3rd and 15 for the Wolves.
Well, I love what they do when they blitz. A lot of times they bring it up the middle with Alex Kowalczyk, and he is like a missile coming out of there. Great pressure. He was one of the better defenders on this team last year, one of the leading tacklers, and just creating havoc on that blitz.
Lot of movement here from both teams. I think this might end up being false start, although there was movement from the defensive line as well.
Well, they jump simultaneously, and usually if that's the case, it's going to be on the offense.
Nope, they're going to get Wayne State on this one. I think the tackle moved just a hair before the guard.
Well, it certainly helps Northern State. Gives you an extra 5 yards. Can you convert here? Time is getting late here, 6:27 to go.
That's the thing about the way Northern State has operated with this ball control offense. It's moved these quarters along quickly. A lot of shifting here for the Wolves as Bonds awaits the shotgun snap. Looking right, he's got Charrier. It bounces off his hands and out of bounds and incomplete. And suddenly, it's 4th down once again for the Wolves, and real interesting decision-making time for Northern State. They are going to punt.
Yeah, I think this is the right decision. 6:22, a lot of time left to be played. Still have a couple of timeouts. Try to pin Wayne State deep and hope, certainly, that you can get another 3 and out at least, and maybe, just maybe, you can get a turnover. I think going forward here, it would play into Wayne State's hands. I think a good decision by Coach Schmidt.
Especially with the way the Northern State defense has played, as Bird will fair catch inside his own 15, and that's where the Wildcats will start. 6:15 left to play, and a chance to potentially ice this game, but more than anything, you got to get yardage, you got to burn clock, and you got to keep your defense off the field.
Yeah, went 3 and out last time. We'll see if Coach Masters, again, you know, that's one reason I didn't want to be a head coach. These decisions, I mean, how conservative do you play it here? Do you try to run some clock? do you try to take a chance and make a big play downfield? You don't want to turn the football over, but I think Wayne State's got to take a little bit of a chance, be a little bit aggressive here to try to move the football and try to burn some clock.
Fake the handoff to the motion man. Bowen trying to run it up the middle, and there's nothing doing there. You mentioned these decision-making processes. You have, now I realize Nebraska fans will probably scoff at this, but you have two guys who have been offensive coordinators there on the same sideline in Logan Masters and Colin Prosser, and they've got chemistry. We mentioned that they're former teammates. Yeah. Prosser was a fullback, a tight end, and a lineman for Wayne State, while Masters was one heck of a wide receiver. So they know each other well, and they trust each other's decision-making. As Bowen escapes the initial pressure, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's it. And suddenly, it's another 3rd and long for the Wildcats.
Yeah. Northern State controlling things defensively, and I think that's, again, why that was such a good decision to punt the football away, because, odds are, if you're going for it on 4th and 10, you're not going to get it near as many times as you won't. But the way the defense is playing, you've pinned Wayne State deep, and you kind of take a lot of their offense away as they've got the ball inside their own 20-yard line.
Bowen on 3rd and 8 awaits the shotgun snap. Rolling right side, looking. Finds his man Mason Lee out past the sticks, and that's a big 3rd down conversion for the Wildcats.
That is a huge conversion. And there's Mr. Consistency, Mason Lee. Now that's an experienced player there. That was an experienced route there just to get ahead of the sticks again. And a good delivery there by Bone.
Just the 4th 3rd down conversion of the night for the Wildcats, as Watkins trying to scoot toward the left side, just off guard, and gets a yard, maybe 2.
Got 1st down there. That creates the situation now where you can run some more time off the clock and certainly force Coach Schmidt and his staff to think about when they need to burn some timeouts. So each 1st down you get here for Wayne State is just another step toward a victory if you can do that.
Mentioned Wayne State with 4 3rd down conversions. That's all Northern State's got too. Both teams exactly 4 for 13 on 3rd down tonight. As the handoff once again, this time it goes to Lynch. He's out to the 30-yard line, and that's going to make it 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, defense has been the standouts in this ball game. Northern State with 267 total yards, Wayne State with 239. So neither team has been able to really do a whole lot offensively. And another big 3rd down here. Can Wayne State convert?
By the way, this game started just 30 minutes before the Nebraska game. We're nearing the end of the 4th quarter. Nebraska is nearing the end of the 1st half. That game's 28-28 if you're curious. Bowen looking to throw, goes down the field for Lee. Lee stretching for it, just can't quite get to it. They had him, but just could not quite connect.
Yeah, that was a deep out there, and Lee was open. So close. You're talking about inches from maybe another nail, or at least a nail in Northern State's coffin. Instead, Wayne State has to kick the football away, and Northern State very much alive.
Lee wanted another 3rd down conversion, ran a nice route, and Bowen, facing pressure, really threw a nice ball as well. Powders to punt, gets rid of it, and it lands in front of the returner. Will take a bounce, another Wayne State bounce, and this will be inside the 25-yard line. 22-yard line, 78 yards to go if Northern State wants to tie this one up.
I think you'd like to have seen, if you're Northern State, to see Ben Nolan there come up and field that punt. Throw a fair catch sign up there. And Wayne State has to allow him to catch the football. Lost about 10-15 yards of field position, letting that ball bounce.
It was kind of a knuckleball, and I'm not sure Nolan trusted himself to catch it.
Yeah, certainly you've got to be pretty sure of yourself. You don't want to fumble the football.
Bonds all by himself now throws it out right side. And yeah, that was Block who made the catch. He's past the 25. That's what they've tried to do with Block. Get him to the outside out of the backfield and wing it to him on the edge. And he picks up about 5.
Well, this is where Northern State needs the one thing they have not had tonight, and that's a big play. They just have they've been much more methodical than Wayne State, and they've been able to run the ball at times, and they've mixed it up reasonably well, but they have not had the big play, and now time starting to run out on them.
A change of linemen ahead of that play, and suddenly a big sack for the Wildcats. Getting back there was Jalen Scott on the blitz. Right before that play, a new lineman, Tanner Redden, came into the play. It wasn't his side, but some confusion from Northern State.
Well, Wayne State's been doing that a lot in this ball game with Kowalczyk, number 5, and then on that play with Scott running those blitzes up the middle, and those have worked very well tonight.
Bonds from the shotgun steps up, looking to throw, and picked off!
Wow.
Another turnover forced by the Wildcats. This time it's Kowalczyk.
Yeah, Kowalczyk is such a good player. I don't know that Bonds even saw him. He just stepped in front of that play. I mean, from up here, it almost looked like he was throwing to Kowalczyk. Yeah. I don't think he saw him.
I mean, I know there was desperation, but there were 2 Wildcats between Bonds and Block.
Yeah.
If it wasn't going to be Kowalczyk, there was another chance at a pick. And suddenly, you talk about nails in the coffin.
Yeah, that's a big. that goes a long way toward a Wayne State victory.
Although there's a penalty against the Wildcats.
Post-possession penalty, I believe. Perhaps a unsportsmanlike conduct.
Jalen Scott was a very excited man. It's entirely possible.
Yeah, you got to be careful, though. I mean, you've got to. You're in position now to win this football game. You don't want to do anything silly, and still 2 timeouts for Northern State. They're going to have to use them now.
Handoff Watkins, and he's trying to bide his time. There's nothing there, and Northern State's going to have to call timeout. A minute 14 left to play. Wildcats looking to move to 2-0 for the first time since 2012. And quite honestly, 1-1 has been the number for Wayne State for quite a while, because Wayne State has only gone 0-2 once since that time.
Yeah.
Since 2012, every year but one has been a 1-1 start, while the Wildcats are looking to make it 2-0 under Logan Masters.
Yeah, it's certainly not a thing of beauty, but it's certainly a beautiful thing to win a football game, and it doesn't matter. I mean, I'd much rather win a game that at times was a little bit ugly, but I think if you ask Coach Masters, I think he would say it was a beautiful thing on the defensive side of the ball. They rose to the occasion. They stopped Northern State when they had to. Northern State fumbling the ball at the goal line and certainly had left some opportunities, some drop passes out there. But this Wayne State defense has been so opportunistic at times and really just persisted in this game and made play after play. And you certainly, the old adage is defense wins championships. Well, the defense certainly, I think, won this football game here tonight for this Wayne State Wildcats, providing Northern State doesn't come up here with a turnover.
Yeah, not over just yet, as that was actually quite a dicey handoff there to Watkins. The handle did not look like a sure thing. To go back to that last 2-0 start for Wayne State in 2012, that Wayne State team went on to have a 3-0 start under then head coach Dan McLaughlin. Logan Masters was actually a graduate assistant at that time, as Northern State obviously calls another timeout. 1:11 left to play in this game, and it does not feel like a sure thing just yet, Lou.
Yeah, you're right. I might have spoke a little too soon. but I think it's going to take a big play here by Northern State, either a turnover or a big play from their offense when they get the football back. They should not have much time. I expect Wayne State runs the football here. No timeouts left for Northern State, so you're going to have quite a bit of time that comes off of the clock, and somewhere around probably 30 seconds when Northern State gets the football back. So anything is possible, certainly. Wayne State in great position. I think the odds would be up in the upper 90s right now that they would win the football game, but again, that doesn't always work out that way. Coach Masters, again, a little upset with something here.
He and offensive coordinator Colin Prosser out at midfield together along with a pair of the officials. Mentioned it earlier, it's not exactly real characteristic of Logan Masters to be particularly animated.
He was certainly upset about, I don't know if it was a clock situation or...
We see Masters and Prosser out there with the officials, although Prosser directing traffic for the offense.
I don't think you take any chances here. You run the football, run clock. Northern State has no timeouts. And then you'll have a chance on fourth down to punt them deep and force Northern State to find that big play that they have not been able to find all game.
They added 2 seconds back onto the clock to a minute 13. Bowen is swallowed up in the backfield.
And that was the right thing, Pat, with that clock, because I was watching it after they called timeout. The clock ran a couple of seconds off. I think that was a good job by the officials to catch that. I know Coach Masters didn't agree with it, but I think that was a good catch there by the officials.
I think what's interesting now this decision doesn't come into play because of that 15-yard penalty, but if that hadn't happened, Wayne State would be at the 30-yard line with a chance to potentially kick a 47-yarder to go up by 2 scores.
Or you think maybe a little bit more about going for it, certainly, at that field position. Now, with you're going to allow the clock to run down here, under 30 seconds. 26 seconds.
Sorry, Lou.
I was just, 26 seconds, just so we were right, pretty close there, around just under 30 seconds. And now I think if you're Powders, you tell them to kick the ball out of bounds. Don't even give them a chance to return this. Kick it toward the sideline, and then with Northern State with no timeouts, under 30 seconds to go, then you force them to come up with that huge play that they have not been able to get the entire ball game.
Well, if you were watching News Channel Nebraska earlier this week, you know that's not out of the realm of possibility. Number 11 UNK was ahead of Pittsburgh State when Pittsburgh State hit a 72-yarder with 19 seconds left to beat the Lopers. Wayne State looking to avoid that kind of fate. Logan Masters obviously let the clock run down and called timeout, and Powders will be on now to punt. The snap will come from the Northern State 45-yard line. Powders stands at his own 41.
Again, this is where you want to kick it to the boundary. You don't give them a chance for a return.
They brought some heat.
Okay, they're going to...
Nolan tries to field it. He drops it. And the Wildcats in a scrum for this football. This might end the ball game.
Yeah, if they recover it, it's over.
It is Northern State ball.
Oh, so close. So close. 15 seconds to go.
Well, here's the thing that did. That ran a little extra clock.
Yeah.
15 seconds left now is all that the Wolves have.
You have 15 seconds. You've got the ball at the 13-yard line, so you have to go 87 yards in 15 seconds. You have no timeout, so things looking dire again. And as we've said already, Northern State has not been able to come up with this play. We'll see if there's any gadget plays that Coach Schmidt and his staff have practiced here in this early part of the season. They need a bit of a miracle here to come up with to try to tie this ball game.
Looking at the replay, I thought Tate Henricks initially had that fumble recovery, as now Madeline looking to throw, and it's going to be a lot of hook and ladder here. They're already resorting to this. The clock
is running out.
Is done.
This ball game's over.
The game is, well, not over yet. Ball still bouncing. That may have been a forward lateral, and indeed it is. That's going to end the game.
That is the game there.
The ball's still bouncing, and do the Wildcats score?
They do.
Another 6 points for the Wildcats. That'll end it in interesting fashion, Lou Siefker.
That's the craziest finish I think I've ever seen. Let's watch this whole thing. What a crazy play. They tried the hook and lateral, and then, you're right, Pat, they just kind of went into desperation mode here. The clock is ticking. It runs out about right here.
Right here, yeah.
And then the ball is fumbled. You're going to see a forward lateral here where the flag is thrown.
And then we get the somersault touchdown here as the ball's still bouncing around. Jalen Scott puts the exclamation point on it. That may have been a 40-second play, Lou.
Yeah, that was wild. Well, I tell you what, that was a wild play. It's I don't know that they're going to give him a touchdown. It's 13-6 right now on the scoreboard. The clock is at zeros. Obviously, the ball game is over, and Wayne State's going to win. And I think it's going to be 13-6 as the final.
Well, in any case, it's a 2-0 start. 2-0 start for the State. Picks up the win at home against Northern State. First 2-0 start since 2012. We'll take a break. We've got post-game show coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
I became a doctor kind of by happenstance, I should say. My wife would tell me when she met me when I was younger that I always wanted to be an astronaut, and somehow that turned into medicine. So when I was in undergrad, I had taken some anatomy and physiology classes, and it just blew my mind, and I wanted to know more and more and more, and so that just naturally directed me towards medicine. But when it comes to hip and knee specifically, there really isn't anything that can't be done at Faith that can be done just about anywhere else. We do everything here from hip replacements to hip arthroscopy, which is another specialty training that I have. Working with the collaborative effort with everybody at Faith is another thing that you need to have that availability to provide top-level care. And we have all those specialties here, and all that is available to every patient, which again reflects back on patient care.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
You have a business, and you are doing everything to make it run just right. But wouldn't it be great if you could talk to someone with good business advice? Someone with practice and perspective, experience. That is us. We are here to help you grow. Madison County Bank.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Allo means reliability, productivity, connect. Allo means no more of that. Allo means business. Local business, big business, small business. If you need reliable phone and internet connectivity, you need Allo. Local service and same-day dispatch. free installation, symmetrical upload and download speeds. If your business relies on communication, rely on Allo. Allo means business. Visit allofiber.com/business.
Wayne State is the college of choice.
Smart choice. Sound choice.
Natural choice.
Strong choice. Original choice.
Bold choice.
Affordable choice.
With over 130 programs of study, Wayne State College is the
first choice. First choice.
First choice.
For students who want an excellent education at an affordable cost. Get started at ExploreWayneStateCollege.com.
(13-6), Wayne State gets the victory over Northern State. We're still waiting on the official word on that score after that bonkers final play, but in any case, it is a victory for the Wayne State College Wildcats. Let's send it down in just a second to the Wayne State College head coach, but before we do that, we'll get a scene of the stadium and tonight's win as the Wayne State College Wildcat faithful excited at this victory. Again, the first time in a decade that the Wildcats have started out 2-0. Again, the final score 13-6. Wayne State picks up the victory. They had to churn through some difficult times as Northern State really controlled the time of possession through much of the first half, but it evened out as Northern State finished with 30 minutes and 30 seconds of possession compared to Wayne State's 29 minutes and 30 seconds. That was really an adjustment in the game as everything sort of shifted back toward the mean in that game. Some key turnovers in the game as Wayne State got 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery compared to just the 1 turnover by the Wildcats. And the Wayne State defense and defensive coordinator Scott McLaughlin came up huge for the Wildcats tonight. And we're excited to get the interview with Coach Logan Masters and also player of the game, part of that defense, Alex Kowalczyk. Again, just a fantastic defensive effort by Wayne State as the Wildcats pick up the win before they get ready to head back on the road next week and try and pick up a 3-0 start, which was the last time that happened was also 2012. But we've got the victorious head coach Logan Masters down on the field. We'll send it to him and Nolan Hoffman. Nolan, take it away.
Coach Logan Masters, Wayne State College. Coach, that was a great event. Can you tell me about that? Yeah, it was to finish off the defense was pretty stinking good. Offensively, we got great. Last week, shout out to our defense and defense staff. Putting in the best situation. Really feel was on the road to projected the word, but they were awesome. Line them. Yeah, for sure. What did you tell your team? Can you call me the five for me? I want to talk. He's hard. He's really good. I want to talk to him. Number 5. Is that Ben? Is 5 Ben? Tomorrow we get it. 20
points in week 1, only 6 points today. What does that say so far about your defense? Only in week 2. It's still very young in the season.
Yeah, our coaches are putting our kids in a great position, and they're executing. They're playing with their hair on fire. They play with great passion for each other and the scheme, and just making plays. And that's what we do as coaches, try to get guys in position to make plays. And right now our defense is making a lot of plays and forcing turnovers and just playing really well. So it's fun to watch them.
Yeah, and obviously only 2 games in so far in your head coaching career here at Wayne State College. What have you learned so far?
It's a lot of fun. It's really been a blessing being the head coach back here where I played, and every day is a learning curve. You always learn something new. Probably the biggest things, game's a little bit more stressful when you're the head coach at the very end than when you're offense coordinator. So hopefully we can start executing a little bit better, and it won't be so stressful at the end on offense. But it's every day is a learning experience as a head coach.
Appreciate the time, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. victory. Good luck next week. Thank you. Thanks so much. Let's bring in the player of the game, Alex Kowalczyk. Alex, congratulations, man. Nice to meet you. Thank you. What was the key for your defense performance tonight? Only 6 points, 28 points last week. How did you guys bounce back this week?
Stuck to our keys. We had better eyes this week. Follow the game plan, do your job, and good things happen.
What was going on at the end of the game? You guys obviously had a couple of you guys made a really key stop there. It seemed like they were getting a little bit of momentum. How did you guys keep getting it done every possession, where they were kind of, like I said, getting a little bit of momentum?
We all kept good composure. It comes from leadership, old guys, keeping the young guys in line, telling them you just got to keep your focus, keep calm. It takes one play to open a game up, and we stuck to our keys and made that happen.
What kind of adjustments did you guys make at halftime?
Just kept doing what we were doing on defense. We were holding them well. Only had 6 points, so kept doing what we were doing. Just added on to that.
How much confidence are you guys playing so far? With so far?
Very confident. Up 2-0 in the season now. Just looking ahead.
My last question: how does this defense get even better?
Just keep making plays, punch the football out, more turnovers, get interceptions, stop those long drives from happening. I'd say that's the one big thing we can work on. Get some more 3-and-outs, get the offense on the field.
Thanks for the time. Congratulations. Congratulations on the victory, man. Thank you. Let's go back up to you, Pat.
Thank you very much, Nolan. 13-6, your final score as Wayne State knocks off Northern State and gets the victory. They'll be heading to North Dakota next week to take on Minot State. But before we look ahead, let's take a look at these top plays from tonight's ball game. Wayne State College hosting Northern State as both teams looking to move to 2-0, and Wayne State able to get it done tonight. Let's take a look at how it happened here at Memorial Stadium. The big toss from Nick Bowen to Jaden Johnson, as Wayne State had been stymied up to that point, but a 60-yard touchdown pass, and that put the Wildcats on top. Then the Wildcats force a turnover, 1 of 4 tonight, forcing a near interception on that case. This time, a halfback pass, interception hauled in by the Wildcats, as that was Tanner Cooper, his second pick of the night. Northern State trying to cut the game to one possession. They do with the field goal by Oy. Then a fumble by the Wildcats, their only turnover of the night, nearly a scoop and score. But Northern State starts deep in Wayne State territory, but the Wildcats able to keep them out of the end zone. Then finally, a late interception by Alex Kowalczyk keeps Northern State at bay. The Wildcats unable to do anything offensively. They do force a punt. It was a muffed punt, but Northern State kept possession of the ball. But with 15 seconds left, they were unable to do anything with it. And the Wildcats pick up a victory, now 2-0 on the season and 2-0 in the NSIC. So that's your game tonight. Wayne State now 2-0 as they knock off Northern State, a very feisty and physical Northern State team, and the Wildcats keep moving on in that victory column. Phenomenal night for football here at Wayne State. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you here on News Channel Nebraska. I want to thank everybody involved for this broadcast tonight. Our crew headed up by Director Connor Luby, also my color man Lou Siefker, Nolan Hoffman on the sidelines. Thanks to all the sponsors, and thanks to you for listening and watching at home. This has been a presentation of News Channel Nebraska. Stick with us throughout the season if we've got more high school and college football. It's been a pleasure being with you tonight. You've been watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
The post-game show is brought to you by Thrift Warehouse in Wayne. Shop their huge selection of gently used name brand clothing, purses, and home decor.
This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.